Hello and welcome to the Inglorious Bards. I'm your Game Master, Tom, and we are here with adventure number 2. We are so professional and we're excited to have you here. We are coming to you live on twitch.tv/IngloriousBards. The videos are available on YouTube channel, and we're coming to you on every podcast platform in the world. And I'm out of breath for running just 10 feet. Oh my God. Okay. We are here doing our sci-fi campaign with our heroes known as prophets. These are law enforcement, almost like star marshals, protecting the galaxy, in particular their home realm known as the Nova Alliance. These prophets travel the stars as part police, part spies, part diplomats, and part soldiers. Let's get a quick introduction of who our prophets are. We will start with Professor Fineglass, an alien with kind of a mushroomy head monocled scientist.
Professor Fineglass is, as described, an alien mushroom head with a monocle, and he's a professor of the Academy and the Prophets.
We have our android Script, the mechanic of the group.
I am Script, a tall, bald, human-appearing android who, when not being awkward, is busy fixing the ship and keeping the gear going.
We have Zoma. He is a rhinoceros-looking alien with a dangerous horn and a huge gun at his side. Zoma.
Zoma Nasora, territorial weapons expert, prophet, and the brawn of the operation.
We have Velu. He is kind of a four-eyed alien in a cloak robe type vibe. He is the mystic of the group.
Velu Igama, and I look after my friends with the magic I possess in hopes to keep them alive for all the purposes that are required.
We have a rat folk doctor by the name of Dr. Pastuza.
You think I'm just a rat? You'd be wrong. I'm the doctorest of the doctors.
And we have the human pilot, Ash.
I really don't know how I'm the only human here, but yeah, I fly everything that we can fly, and if it's got a joystick and a seat, I'm behind it.
Great. Those are our heroes for our game. For our rule system, we are using the Mutant Chronicles 3rd Edition system. Essentially, everyone's rolling 2 20-sided dice, trying to get a target number or less for everything they're rolling. They're trying to roll as many successes as they can get. If they roll extra successes, they get momentum, which they can use for cool effects or even bank it so other players can use it later. And I also have threat that I can use with my bad guys to get extra dice to roll and pull off cool effects. If you'd like to know more, check out the rules audio we created for Season 4. It's about an episode back from this one. You can check out more about how this system works. That's all we have right now. We are ready to begin right after we have a recap of the adventure. Now, this tends to be a particularly concerning moment for everyone, but someone has done such a fantastic job over many, many, many adventures last season. Very clear voice, understands the theater and drama behind it, and I think Jeremy deserves a good break and not do that this season. So instead, we will have our recap done by none other than Seth.
Huge sigh of relief from 4 sides of the table.
Oh, awesome! Not expecting that at all. So yeah, the prophets started the adventure. 4 of the prophets, being Pilsner, Ash, Script, and Zoma, started the adventure on a truck chasing a train, looking for a chest. We didn't know what was in it, or a box. We didn't know what was in it. We were just doing as we were told, like good little prophets. Through some maybe unnecessary killings, we did obtain it. Train crashed. What do you know? Then we got back to the Citadel. Thank you.
You want my notes?
Yeah. Where we met, we met back up with Valu, another one of the prophets. Velu, sorry. And then we got introduced to the newest member of our team, Professor Fineglass, who promptly scolded us for doing a little bit of doing a little bit of violence. And then we had a meeting with Captain Valencia, a familiar face from season 2 for some of us, who sent us to a hospital to check out a new patient there that was causing some disturbances. That patient was a young boy who was catatonic but had a force field type thing around him. And yeah, Dr. Pilsner promptly poked it and took some damage for it. And the force field grew. Eventually, Velu, with a little bit of help from the professor, took down that force field, but not before all of the nurses and some of the security, the hospital security, or maybe it wasn't hospital security, they were police officers, got all enraged and attacked us because they thought we were hurting the boy. And then Professor Fineglass, just moments after scolding the rest of the team for being violent, decided to open up some fire on these poor innocent nurses and police officers.
Sounds like you have a grudge.
A little bit, yeah. Yeah. So yeah, a fight ensued. Many people lost their lives, and including the young boy who, in a final act of indignity, kind of made an explosion and threw our alien Velu. Sorry, this is going to take a minute. Out the window.
Yes.
And that's kind of where we ended last adventure.
Therefore,
Let the adventure begin.
inside the sterile white corridors of the Brightview Hospital, the prophets stand near an unconscious police officer on the floor. White lights flicker overhead. After the chaos and violence of the hospital attack, now there is only silence. The nurse's station is smashed and shot up. Wounded and dead lie strewn about the quiet corridor. A monitor smashes to the ground with a crash, startling everyone. The prophets look at one another and put away their weapons. In one of the patient rooms, the white walls are splattered with red blood. Medical personnel lie wounded or dead in crumpled heaps amongst the smashed equipment, and medical beds toss violently across the room. Velu, the mystic, stands just inside a huge shattered window, the wind from outside lightly kicking up his cloak.
What? Oh, it's my turn to finally speak. They give me words. Well, very well then.
No time for that, Velu. Is everyone all right?
The prophets nod at one another. No serious injuries, not on their side at least. The pilot Ash has a stunned look on his face.
Whoa. That went from 0 to 60 real damn fast.
The rhino soldier Zoma slaps the rat folk doctor proudly on the back.
Our little Dr. Pastuza has turned into quite the soldier.
I'm no soldier. We had to defend ourselves when the nurses went berserk.
We blew that one to pieces. Well done, my little friend.
Can we drop it, please?
The android script points at the lifeless boy on the bed in the patient room.
The medical personnel and police officers appeared controlled by a power. It is likely they were compelled to protect the boy when we were perceived as a threat.
A woman in a lab coat rises up from behind a counter at the nurse's station. She is Dr. Gadane, overseeing the health of several patients here at the hospital. She looks around at the destruction and her dead colleagues in shock. What's happening? What did they do? What did you do? They're all dead. Look at the blood.
Hey,
There's just
easy.
blood that's everywhere.
Easy, Doc.
No, it's
Doc,
it's
no,
crazy.
listen, you're safe. You're safe. Hold on. Now look at me, Doc. Hear these words very closely. Do you have an overwhelming desire to kill us all right now with your bare hands?
Ash! Knock it off.
No, hey, I had to ask.
I'm fine. A little out of my mind about what just happened, but fine. I'm just I can't believe all of this.
Dr. Gadane, what can you tell us about the boy?
The boy? Well, earlier this morning, some unusual people brought the boy in. He was not responsive and even a bit combative. After a few hours, we started having electrical issues, and then this field of energy appeared around him. We called the police, and then they contacted you. Now everyone's dead.
When we spoke to the boy, he mentioned a name, a Dr. Gibbs. Dr. Pastuza, have you heard of this individual?
I can't say that I have.
Professor Fineglass, you are an expert in researching information. Do you think you could find something on this Dr. Gibbs that would greatly help our investigation?
Everyone, both prophets and medical personnel, turned to Professor Fineglass, calmly sipping from water in a cup. The mushroom-headed professor looks at everyone, removes his monocle dramatically, takes a breath to speak, and then starts coughing as the water goes down the wrong esophagus. What would you like to do next? Also, great script lines in here by script. The reading, especially your first one. I'm grinning.
Sorry, Professor, you were saying?
Are you okay?
Yes. Sorry. There's four tubes in the archoi neck line, and it went down 3 of the wrong ones. As I was beginning to say, I could do some research on this boy, but or the doctor, Dr. Gibbs, you say, yes. Lead me to a terminal.
Dr. Gadane, I feel really bad about kind of the mess that we left here. Can we help you clean this at all, or do you have a disposal or something that we drop these into?
I mean, I would call the police, but they're lying at your feet. I don't know what to do.
There is a perfectly good window right there.
Zolma, these are people. This was their place of work. It's normally a safe space for them. This is kind of a traumatic moment for everyone. We don't just throw things out windows every time we don't like the mess.
You've
Remember?
only 2 officers here.
But they could be out there.
Okay.
Not an issue, not, out
No,
there.
it's good thinking. Yeah. No.
So what happens?
I want to look at you. Are you all right?
I think so. And she starts patting herself
And
down.
take a pen light out and shine it into her eyes.
All right.
Why didn't you turn like the rest of them?
Is it a 9mm pen light?
How come we didn't turn like the rest of them?
I don't know any of this. She seems fine. There's no, she seems definitely in shock, but there's no energy or anything like you detected from the other people's eyes.
Velu would like to move over and examine the boy.
Okay.
Don't have a medical degree in this regard, but examining him for injuries and any kind of markings, maybe, or maybe even personal effects that he's been brought in with.
Okay.
Fineglass goes with you.
I want to investigate further with the boy. Maybe something was overlooked.
It's always a possibility.
I have a request to make. Tom of Dr. Fineglass, since you're in the hospital, can you say Dr. Fineglass for me? If they put one of yours in the hospital, put one of theirs in the morgue.
Also, at some point, could you call one of us Moneypenny?
Or a son of a bitch.
They put one of yours in the hospital. Put one of theirs in the morgue.
Thank you. I'm happy now. I am content.
There's so many lines that I want you to say. But I want to just feed you. Zoma, when they say they're gonna go to check the boy, we'll go look for a janitor or maybe more security, possibly, to help ease the situation. I can try to ease situation. I can try things.
Yeah, I feel like one of us should call this in as well. I'm gonna contact the...
Dr. Gibbs to 3rd level station, please. Dr. Gibbs to 3rd level nurses station.
For definitely no shooting.
Not murder purposes. Not come armed. You're needed for righteous indignation.
We have the professor and our mystic Velu checking out the boy. There's a medicine roll. I believe you're doing, Velu. Make a medicine roll. What's your medicine?
Sure. Awesome at medicine, I think. I don't know. Let's see. This would be at a difficulty 2.
No, difficulty 1.
Oh, really? Because medicine's subset to treatment.
Oh. You have 0
Do I have that translated correctly?
It's difficulty. Yeah, I think difficulty increases, and I believe the repercussion increases as well. Yeah, it's not good.
Because you have no...
It's an advanced skill. He has no training in.
I have 2 successes for 1 success.
Oh,
Perfect.
you pass. You see that there are no injuries on the boy other than some scrapes and minor bruises that you believe are caused just by him being immobilized. You see some of the immobilization are caused from some of the straps that they had here at the hospital, but there are some others pre-hospital that you're not sure what from. But again, it doesn't look severe, but you don't see any other physical trauma. Professor Fineglass, you note that the boy is wearing an oversized adult jumpsuit that has the name Calliope written on the back of it.
Okay.
Well, my training is...
That's a little big for his size.
I'm a little outside of my area of expertise, but the injuries do not seem excessive. Localized to just the cuffs around the wrists and the feet, but nothing else.
Does the name Calliope mean anything to you?
Does it?
No.
Nope. Nothing comes to mind.
It is likely a ship based on the jumpsuit.
What was the ship?
Calliope.
The Calliope.
Familiar to you.
She sounds fancy. Do I have any knowledge of understanding of other ships that are around, if I would know the names or the classes?
No, but you guys, and in most cases you can't, just like our normal role-playing games you would know or not, but you guys are like the top law enforcement agency in your home turf, so you have access to a lot of resources that you want to access.
Sounds great. Ash will drop the feet of whoever he was carrying across the floor.
I'm not quite dead yet!
And go find a search terminal.
Okay, you're at a computer terminal. You see there are several hospital administrators and some security people who are coming up, and they look pissed off. There's about 5 security guys there, and they draw weapons as they see all of this. And what's going on? Dr. Gadane's like,
Frosty.
I don't know. And the security guys are coming at you guys, and they see...
Zoma has his gun on his back, always ready and cocked and loaded, but he just has his arms in front of him, very stern, but not threatening looking, hopefully.
And one of them draws his pistol and points it at you. Another says, hold on, they're prophets!
Everything is under control now. We had situation, but please refer to our doctors and professors here for further explanation.
Make a command roll, please. Do you have the command skill, sir?
Do you have persuade?
We all do.
No.
I do not.
Ash does not.
Difficulty 2 then?
Yes.
If it has anything to do with personality, I have none of that.
One success.
Really?
Yes.
But that's not enough. You didn't pass.
Yeah, not enough.
That's what we were looking for. Okay.
Sorry.
They still have their, another one draws his other gun. Let's have everyone lower their weapons right now. Put your guns on the ground.
Professor Fineglass, hearing this, walks back out of the boys' room and into the lobby area. Everyone, just calm down. I'm Professor Fineglass of the Naval Academy. How may I help you?
We need to control the situation. We've got dead people all over the place.
They are dead. Yes, it's under control now.
Put your weapon on the ground.
Professor Fineglass, I don't know where if they have like their ID like on a lanyard or on a collar or whatever, but he shows them his ID. I'm Professor Fineglass from the Prophet Academy. We are taking control of the situation.
He needs you to make a command roll, please.
I can make a command roll.
You got some command there, Prof?
I have command. Thank God. I have one success.
All right. He puts his weapon down and says, "All right, so what's your situation here? We've got people coming to take care of these bodies and look at some of the. We have officers that are down here as well.
Yes. Taking care of the bodies would be a great help. Thank you.
Call more police. More profits. We'll call more profits.
Right. Yes.
Hello.
Bailey walks out of the room. Hi.
I've got it under control.
What is your name, sir?
My name is Adam.
Adam. Right now, what I could use your help with is I need you to look up a couple of names. A Dr. Gibbs and a Calliope.
All right. And he whispers something to his guys, and they start checking out some of the wounded and and they're escorting Dr. Gadane out, and he goes off to and starts talking to radio.
Can Pilsner talk to Dr. Gudane?
Yeah, you stop her before she goes out. Yes?
Doctor, I'm very confused as to why you didn't turn like the rest of them. Did you have the prolonged exposure like the rest of them did? How long were you around the boy?
I checked in on I received him when he first came in, and I checked in on him twice over the last 4 or 5 hours.
This is odd. This is odd. I might be back in touch with you.
Very well. What else you guys doing? We had Ash at a computer.
Yeah.
Okay, what are you checking for in the computer?
I'm searching for everything on the Calliope, or what I can find for matching the words, matching the keywords in ship or registrations.
All right. You may need to make an education roll, difficulty 0, so you will get information.
Okay.
And then script has something to do as well. Then.
All right.
That is a success.
Okay. With a success, you search the name Calliope, and it comes up on a ship registry. You are correct. It is a ship. It is a ship that deals with gas mining, and it has a note in there of a last known location boop, 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 in the lower west dock here in the city of Syrcos.
Okay.
Shows that it docked this morning and is currently docked as well.
Lowest dock in Syrcos. We got a hit on Calliope, you guys. It looks like it's been around. It's a gas mining ship, and it just docked today. This morning, in fact. Right here in town.
Excellent.
Did you get a list of officers on board? Is Gibbs maybe on the ship?
Not with one pass.
Don't go.
Gonna ask.
can take a look more into it, but that's all I've got so far.
Well, how do we find out what came with the boy? Was there anyone else brought in with them? Did he come with any other equipment?
He was dropped off, they said, by shady-looking characters, but they didn't stay.
So Script has been at a security console going through video footage of when the boy might have come in.
All right.
And trying to capture images of that.
All right. That will also require an education roll. This is your hacking, and it's difficulty 1.
Lovely. That is going to be 2 successes.
Nice.
Also, don't forget, I think you have a racial trait with education rolls as an android. Yes, maybe, no,
I have
possibly.
one.
Internal database. When you succeed on an education or science check, gain 1 bonus momentum that can be used only to gain additional information from the check.
So you have a pass and 2 momentum on top of that.
Perfect.
All right.
And I will
great.
use that for being able to capture any information at this stage.
All right. With that, you are able to capture video of the boy coming in. You see him being brought up and taken up to the room. You capture video of the people bringing him in and leaving. It is a group of 2 people only, so a pair of folks. They are also wearing identical beige jumpsuits that say Calliope on them. And they bring the boy in, who is kind of limp, struggles a little bit, and limp. They seem flustered and exhausted when they leave with him. How many? 2 bonus? And one of them seems pained, holding their head as they leave.
Where's Ash at this moment?
Oh, just standing at the computer, typing what I can find.
So this mine is a 1, but if this mine isn't here, Minesweeper will.
Pastuza's gonna come up behind you and tap you on your right shoulder, and then jab you in, tap you on the left shoulder rather, and then jab you in the right arm.
Oh.
Big hypodermic needle, and I'm gonna do some healing to your right
Jelly beans, that stings.
arm. Medicine roll.
So you're doing the first aid once per
First aid,
scene. Oh yeah,
yep.
treatment roll for that.
That's pretty good.
2 successes.
All right. You heal 1. No, you heal your expertise in light wounds plus an additional 1 for your momentum.
So 3.
Nice.
Great. And keep in mind, we're making rolls. We're looking for if you pass or fail, and then how many momentums. That would be a pass with a momentum. Great. You heal him up.
Thanks, Doc. That feels right as rain.
Security isn't doing much to help out at this moment. They're just trying to keep other people from coming in. There's a bunch of administrators from the hospital are here. There's a janitor with a mop who's playing Viscera cleanup detail off of Steam.
3rd time today.
Damn these prophets.
Oh, that reminds me. I need to give you this. And Velo hands over a helmet piece to Dr. Pastuza.
Oh, thank you very much. I need to give you this. And jabs you with the needle.
What was it called? Risky surgery back at you for once?
Exactly. I pass with 2 momentum, so 4. Which will heal you all up.
Oh, it does?
Yeah, you had 2 to your right arm and 2 to your torso, by my count.
Oh, that's my head.
These are just light wounds you're healing, right?
Yeah.
Light wounds. Yeah.
Perfect.
Thank you, Doc.
This one is too heavy. One of you please help me. I know this is my problem, but
I'll help you.
somebody. No, we need your brain vessels.
He psychically cuts it in half.
We need
just
to
looking
find
at
who
the
this boy belongs to.
maimed bodies, is there anything like unusual about them?
Nope.
We should start at the Calliope.
I suppose. Well, is there anything else here that we need to do?
We're just gonna leave the mess.
It looks like they have it well in hand. Pats the janitor.
Slip slightly on gore.
Did we find location of doctor?
Keep up the hard work.
The missing doctor?
Just a chunky Vitamix. He's rolling across the floor and just throwing in pieces.
I haven't done any research on that, Zoma, but I can take a look real quick.
We are in hospital.
Ash is going to follow up on Zoma's request to find Dr. Gibbs, if that's possible, using the computer system as well.
Okay, make an education roll. Difficulty 2.
In that case, I'm going to actually spend a threat and add a die.
All right. So he gave me a threat to use later, threat point. I now have 13 of them, but he gets an extra die.
And that is, we're education here. 2 successes.
All right, that's a pass.
Passive, yeah.
All right, you are able to get some information on a bunch of Dr. Gibbs, but you narrow it down to one who catches your eye in particular. Where is he at? And in particular, he is totally stalling to find the information, which is right here on the thing where he is looking here. There we go. One jumps out. A Dr. Theodore Gibbs is a scientist focused on stellar energy. He's big on creating compact energy delivery to remote locations where normal power sources are just too costly. However, what caught your eye with this Dr. Theodore Gibbs over the other Gibbs is that this one is wanted for reckless endangerment and the deaths of 9 people when a ship of his transporting compact energy modules suffered a catastrophe. He had cut several safety protocols to rush the shipment out, and the modules overloaded and blew up. His whereabouts are unknown. And he is now considered a wanted man. He's also known to go under the name Max Gibson, with a penchant for gambling and fine Eclipsean wines.
It's noted on the search warrant.
Yep.
Can you repeat that name one more time? Max what?
Gibson.
Max Gibson, thank you.
Is the alias.
And known for what?
Penchant for gambling and fine wines.
We don't have a map.
Is there a condition to his wanted status?
Still wanted.
Dead or alive?
Oh, well, that's profit discretion.
Okay, profit. As always, profit discretion.
Prophets don't always have good discretion.
No. It's just us.
That's the footnote to anything on the wanted.
Lance 1, no discretion.
Relegate to prophecy. Don't care for.
Shall we go to the lower west docks and visit the Calliope?
I think we shall.
That sounds like a great idea. Hey, fellas, thanks for
Just
cleaning up around here.
Let's go.
Don't look back.
Team law enforcement. There's no small cops here. Everyone's pulling together.
They get it.
You got my coffee? All right, thanks.
Our success is your success.
He says to some rookie cop going through PTSD, covered in blood, putting his buddy's partner body bag. Oh my God.
That's the best. Thank you, Script.
He was 2 weeks from retirement. What you doing?
We're going to go visit the Calliope.
Guess we're catching a bus down to the southwest.
The lower west side.
You're hitchhiking there.
We still have our vehicle, though, right? Or
You
do-
guys,
Oh,
you
yeah,
guys,
we have
yeah,
a
you
vehicle.
came in
Yeah.
a.
We just don't have a ship.
an official profits vehicle, in fact.
Yes.
We don't have ship yet.
Which
But if we wanted to, we can commandeer vehicles.
script would be
No, it moonlights as a party van that Velu does on the weekends.
How do you turn off these flashing
I
lights?
sell tacos.
Pajamas all nighters.
Mystic Talk Pizza. So you guys get in the truck, and I just keep picturing a van now.
Belu's driving, sombrero on.
It's got the shag, the fringe of
Yeah, the
rug
French.
hanging down.
I
It's
call the
making this
seat that
worse
faces
and
the back
worse.
window. In the
so
front.
script would normally try to drive. I mean, he is very competent in driving, so
Ash will shove you out of the side every time. No, I got this. It's okay, buddy.
I'm a better driver.
That's
I have seen you drive. It is questionable.
We're all still alive. I feel like a
Are we?
pretty no question.
I was once.
So who's driving?
Script.
Give me some threat. Let's make it happen.
Ash is uncomfortably kind of uncrossing his arms and folding his arms. Ocean handle finding
Fine.
brakes next to you.
Fine glasses on shotgun.
I'm a very good driver.
Mm.
I actually
All
am.
He beat me to the steering wheel this
All
time.
right. You drive to the lower west dock. This is a hangar that is a open hangar with giant walls around it, though, for ships to come and land. It's a big, wide area, like a couple football fields in width. And you guys pull up to the main gate. A door opens up, and you guys are able to drive in. A human with some overalls and a hard hat he puts on comes over to you with a data pad, and he walks up and says, hello, what can I do for you? And he taps with a little pen type thing, a Dockmaster badge on his
I
side.
have no command. No personality.
All right then.
It is not me.
He drives.
Yeah.
Would you like to go somewhere?
How was Scripps driving?
Get in the van.
Yeah, we need some kind of
No
rule.
time to explain.
We need you chased by a robot Chris Hansen. Get in my van.
Free candy.
We're here to do a little sightseeing, if you will. Point us the way to the Calliope.
He says, she's over there. And he points to a gas collection hauling ship off in the distance. It's on the other side. There are some maglev forklift-like vehicles that are parked next to it, but they're not moving right now. And the ship is kind of bulbous. It has this big scoop device that's slightly retracted inside that it uses to collect gas, and it's just sit there parked like it's been there for a while now.
Ah, excellent. And when did she get into dock?
He says, he looks at you over. You guys are in your official outfits, right?
We are.
Yeah.
Blood spattered official outfits.
Don't they self-clean or something? No.
Prestidigitation?
He looks you over and says, he looks at his data pad. She came in this morning. She wasn't due for another few days, but came in this morning.
Very well. Any sign of the crew?
Yeah, I saw the captain and some of the crew take off a couple hours ago, and they came back later. I talked to him and told him we were ready to offload his canisters, and he said just to hold off a bit. So I'm waiting to hear on word from the captain and before we unload him.
Where was previous assignment?
For the ship?
Yes.
I don't know. I just have the schedule when they're supposed to be here, and they're early. And costs run high when you're not here when you're supposed to be.
Are they on the ship now?
Yeah, that's where I saw him.
Thank you, sir. We'll be on our way. And we head that way. Drive over to the ship. To the ship!
Aye, aye.
Use the other gear. It's better in lower.
I know what I'm doing.
Just the lower gears, the better.
It's a manual. No.
I am one with this machine.
I have assimilated.
You drive your vehicle over to the ship, the Calliope. You come to a stop. Coming out to greet you is no one. Nothing at all, just quiet. And you can see there's some other commotion with some other nearby ships, and there is a ship that's taking off in the distance. Not a lot of activity. And you're within this big, bright capital city, so there's a lot of activity outside this hangar, but it's pretty quiet in here.
All right. Well, shall we welcome ourselves aboard?
Is there a way to knock?
Don't see
Or
a
is there
bell.
a doorbell? I don't really. Yeah, let's use that. Do we need to?
You go up to a game plank that leads up to a outer hatch, and you press the button, and there is no response after quite a while.
Well, I guess we're done here.
Stop there for tonight.
I don't understand. He said the crew was here.
Script walks up to the door, checks to see if it's locked.
It is not locked.
He opens the door and walks in.
It opens up, and Script enters.
Zuma grabs his gun.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
What?
Did you not listen to season 2?
Let's not go in crazy talk.
This is standard
We've
practice
had a
for
tough
Zoma.
day already. Let's,
I'll
you can
stand-
pull it fast enough when you need it.
I don't intend to shoot anything.
Let
But you're
us
holding
not
it
put
like
them
you're
on
gonna.
guard, please.
Zolma,
All right. And I
Yes,
kind of put it down.
put the gun away for now.
I appreciate
Well, not my
your
professor anymore.
enthusiasm.
You're just a professor, okay?
Put the gun away, Zolma.
Puts the gun away, holds out a grenade, walks forward.
Yes. Well, is this better? I had to have something.
Is there... never mind.
All right.
Oh, we are well within our purview to enter a ship.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Oh, you're purviewing. All right.
Question real quick.
We're perps, is that what you're saying?
Based on the way that the prophets work, because this is all our jurisdiction in the Citadel, is this something that would consistently be we just handle it as we go in and then talk about it later, or should we be checking back in with the Citadel and letting them know what we've
With
encountered,
Captain
what we
Valencia,
sent- Yeah,
who doesn't have time for us?
yeah.
Yeah, you guys probably sent in some message back to someone.
That would
in
very much I think
logistics.
Ash would
Yeah.
do. It's like
Yeah.
send
boy
reports.
dead.
His report.
Investigating.
That's why you weren't driving, so you could do the report on the way
There you
to
go.
the next.
To Captain Valencia, CYA.
Lots of smiley emoticons, shock faces, some fun memes thrown in, animated GIF of a puppy just to smooth it over a little bit.
Thinking about you. How are things?
Boy, that Professor Fineglass.
All right, cool. So we're entering the ship.
Yeah.
So is that your thing? You're by the book, Ash?
Yes.
Okay.
Who is
Ash
first
doesn't
your
really
nickname
do
now.
anything with rules.
Well, Script sort of just walked in.
Okay.
All right, inside there's an airlock, and you're able to cycle through that and open up the other door. And beyond that, you're kind of in this T intersection that has some labels, and there's 3 ways to go from here, and no one there to greet you.
How big is this ship? Sorry to interrupt.
Big enough, it has a massive hold, and then much smaller areas. So it's all about collection.
On this type of ship, what would the crew size typically be?
Probably somewhere around 10.
Okay.
You can see a sign that points to bridge, sign that points to quarters, and the sign that points to hold. The corridor off in the distance towards the hold has lights that are flickering, and you can hear someone talking down the bridge corridor.
Let's go talk to them, and then
Is
Script.
there like an intercom, a mass
Yeah.
transmit? How about we try that to present ourselves if you want to be official?
They should have answered the buzzing.
Fair enough.
Ash will go look for a manifest, though, see if he can find a crew roster.
So you're heading to the bridge?
I will head to the bridge.
Okay,
Yeah.
off he goes.
Pesties will go with you.
And although
Zoma was
Script
also-
said that, he's heading towards the hold.
Okay,
So there was the hold, the bridge, and
quarters.
quarters. And the hold is where the flickering lights and
Yep,
voices are?
and script is headed.
Oh, wait, the voices are that way?
No, voices are bridge.
Oh,
Okay.
sorry. Okay, voices bridge. Fineglass will go towards the bridge as well then.
Okay, Belu, you're the only one.
Well, everyone's gone to the bridge, so
Not
Except
everyone.
for Script is not.
Script is going to the
Oh.
hold.
He is heading towards the hold.
I can't leave you to go off on yourself. That would be bad buddy system.
Thank you,
Vela
buddy.
will go with script.
Okay,
Do I have access to these right now?
you have to craft them.
Okay.
So it takes an hour. You have to find. So what we're talking about right now is a new gameplay element we put into play. I've designed called tech cards, These are cards that allow our mechanic script to create one-off items to help the group. That could be something like I don't know, something out of Batman's utility belt for all we know, or a cool one-time effect that he can create. The catch is he needs to locate tech points within the campaign as we play to then use those. So you just need to gain that resource. And then 1 hour per tech point.
Okay. So basically, this entire season is going to be scripted just on a hide and seek hunt, geocache hunt, while the rest of us do.
He's got a great side quest, though.
Yeah.
It's just funsies.
All right, those of you who go to the bridge, you can hear someone talking on the bridge as you get close, and you hear a man say, docking clamps locked, all lights green, we have a med. Docking clamps locked, all lights green, we have a med. Just repeated over and over.
A man saying that?
Mm-hmm.
A man's voice is saying
Correct. As you walk in, you see the bridge is there. It's dirty, not well kept, lots of junk and papers and food wrappers lying around. Not a well-oiled ship that Ash would approve of in any way.
Oh.
And there is no one here on the bridge whatsoever.
And where is that? Where's the sound of that voice coming from?
There's several different computers here. There's like astrogation computer, there's a main computer, and there's a messaging computer. That's where it's coming from.
And does it seem like is an incoming message or a looped outgoing message?
You go over to it, and it looks like it was an outgoing that's been being replayed.
Okay.
And there are also several other messages on that same computer.
Fineglass presses the rewind button to listen to these other messages.
All right.
Play the tape backwards.
Zoma is inspecting for further signs of life.
Okay.
Like
So
that.
other
food wrapper
areas.
and stuff, yeah.
Okay. Fineglass, do you want to go most recent message or oldest message first?
I prefer chronological, so let's
Oldest.
go back, yeah.
All right. The oldest message that is there, it looks like there's been some erasures on the system. The oldest message is from 6 days ago, and it reads, this is Captain Oark. While moving to a new gas pocket, Shelley just picked up an object on the limits of our sensors. Looked like someone will be flying at 30,000 feet. And, looked like someone floating out in space on that sensor read in the middle of nowhere. So we go over there and find this kid, like an honest-to-God kid. We pull him into the airlock and can't believe our eyes, like the little guy's alive. No suit, no air, no nothing. We just picked up a kid out in space. I've never seen anything like it. He's breathing and mumbling about falling. He's hard to understand. Jonas says there's nothing wrong with him, but there's definitely something wrong with him.
And we managed to kill him.
I'm logging the coordinates where we found him in the astrogation computer and then bugging out early. Somebody's got to take a look at this kid. We're headed back to Haven to drop off the methane we got and get this kid looked at.
And Fineglass will make a note to look for some coordinates. What's the next message?
There are 3. This is from 2 days ago. This is Captain Oark. Cal's electrical systems are failing left and right. Thankfully, Sally can keep life support going, and the fold drive is pushing us hard to Haven. Jonas says everyone's got some bad headaches, and I'm one of them. No gas detectors have triggered, but it's likely a problem with the methane canisters in the hold. Got to get back to Haven and get this gas off this ship and this kid looked at.
Okay. Next message.
From 2 hours ago. This is Shelley Enderall. We just got back from the hospital to deal with the situation, but now we've got another problem. The captain's going crazy. Suddenly he don't want to take off, but he also don't want the gas unloaded. Saw him locking the astrogation computer before he, Jonas, and some of the others left the bridge. I've got too much of a headache to deal with this crap. Let's get paid and get the hell back to our mining pockets where we came from.
Fineglass wants to repeat that message and listen again. He thought he heard something about navigation coordinates being locked in.
The captain's going crazy. Suddenly don't want to take off, but he also don't want to be the don't want the gas unloaded. Saw him locking the astrogation computer before he, Jonas, and some of the others left for the bridge. That's annoying that you can make me repeat it because it's a message.
Hey Google, rewind 10 seconds. All right, and then then the one that would be most recent is the half message that we've been hearing.
Correct.
Okay. All right. Ash,
Yeah.
how are you with navigation computers?
Oh, I mean, computers are pretty good, a good thing. Really, though, script does computers really well. I'm more of the rocket jockey, as it were.
Very well.
Ash, if there are 2 computers here you haven't looked at, there's a data computer, which would totally fit with what you're just talking about.
Yeah.
Just raw information about the ship and the systems. The astrogation computer, though, is space skill based.
Space skill is. Oh, yeah, that's my deal, though.
Very good.
Space. Yeah, space is me.
While trudging around with script, Velu feels a little uneasy about marching around out here without the rest of the companions. I was always going to, in fact, place a barrier on script.
Okay. What does that look like? Describe what you're talking about.
For all purposes, it'll just be a shimmer of silver that just looks like a bubble and just pops and fades away, but it is there.
So he has some protection.
Yes.
What does it do mechanically?
Mechanically, it offers a built-in soak and defense to overcome.
Oh. That's sweet. I need a little more details.
Sure.
Looking at your, I've
Just
got
trying to
it
buy
too.
myself some time.
No, that's all right. Looking at barrier, you are able to. A personal shield exists for just a few moments, so that's a reactive thing.
I thought there was a longer.
There is, but it's a static wall.
Oh, it
doesn't move.
static.
So it's not a shield.
There
in
is
that way.
one. It is the then it's the blessing. Then
Blessing spell lasts 1 minute at maximum.
yes, and then I can add additional time if I succeed with additional.
Sure. The catch is it takes 5 minutes to cast.
I know, which is why I'm trying to do this while we're
All right.
walking along.
Oh, you're gonna have to stop and start casting. So you pull a script to the side.
What are you doing?
It's blessing of toaster.
I need just a moment.
How many?
Why are you looking at me like that?
I find your eyes very appealing.
You make me
Staring
uncomfortable.
into my eyes.
Comes out.
Please stop.
I feel the joy of the Lord.
Don't say it like that.
This one has very loose face on it.
I'm going
No,
to.
don't roll yet. It's still gonna take time to cast.
Oh, okay.
Okay. What else you guys want to do?
Can you walk and cast?
I will check the quarters.
Yes, I got you still looking at that. You're going from room to room. You're checking out and seeing different spots. They are, again, well used, barely maintained. Some things are hanging off of them. This is not a well-kept ship, dirty, and you're still checking them out, though.
Ash, come over here with me.
All right.
And we walk over to the astrogation computer.
All right.
It's been a while since I've seen one of these, but just kind of, where's the unlock button on this?
It's right here where it says unlock. And is it password protected? This one, as soon as it's locked?
So yeah, you're looking at astrogation computer. Astrogation computer is a very complex mathematical computer and a little bit of art that is required by a skilled space pilot to use the fold drive to cover these massive distances. In this universe, you can travel fast within a planet in orbit between systems. Can take several days, but if you want to go between systems, you enable your fold drive. That takes very complicated math. The more high traffic the area is, so from major world to major world, that's very easy for you to do. But if you're going to somewhere remote, that's very hard to do because you have systems that are moving around and who knows what's floating around and what's changed. So again, you have to use this astrogation computer. What you're looking for here are some coordinates and some sort of sense of where they've come from. Now I have some good news for you, Ash, and some definite bad news. Which would you like to hear first?
You know what? I like that presentation. Let's start with the good news.
The good news is the last coordinates of where they came from are right there. The whole bunch of else have been messed and erased. Someone's definitely tampered, and you're able to barely recover the last one of the coordinates. So you have those coordinates. The bad news is that they're like raw, binary, untranslatable form unique to this computer that you might be able to bring over towards your own, but you will not be able to know anywhere at all where it's supposed to go, which is terrifying as a pilot.
Yeah. Especially for Fold.
The more bad news is that you have an opportunity to try just once to use all of your expertise and skill as a pilot over all these years and try and just do it in your head to figure it out with a space difficulty 4 roll.
Wow.
The highest roll we have done in the campaign.
Can Fineglass assist in any way?
Do you have a space skill?
I have pilot and space.
Space? You can try to help him. You will roll 1 20-sided die for your space, and you cannot add dice to it.
Okay.
This seems pretty important, Doc, but it might need to add a couple of threats. Is everyone okay with that? Is that right for you?
Yeah.
You need to borrow some fingers, you're saying.
I'm gonna add 3 threats
Okay.
for 2 more dice.
Adding 3 threat to my pool, which I can use later, gives him 2 more dice, and then you're getting a 5th essential dice, if you will, from Fineglass. You're not rolling it, but he is.
Okay.
Question for you on this one. Just because of the talents that I have, this is not piloting we're talking about at the moment. This is just space skill checks. Is that right?
Well, what do you mean?
Well, I have a particular effect that lets me to decrease the difficulty rating for any space tests involving piloting by 1 step.
Yeah, it's not.
Okay, because we're not actually flying
Yeah.
at the moment. We'll save that one for later.
Gotcha.
I am totally
So many
picturing
so
a
many dice you're
Minority
rolling?
Report map of Tom Cruise and
You're on
face-
5?
With this mushroom-headed guy looking over his shoulder.
I'm rolling 4 total, and you're rolling
Pre-cog.
1, right?
No, you roll.
No, you go ahead and roll it.
Oh,
You're rolling it with. You're giving
Yeah.
him as many successes as you can.
That is 1 success.
All right.
All right. Oh, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4 successes here, and I get to reroll this one. Well, that's a repercussion, is what that was. That was not the right
So
5.
so a pass and
a
1
pass
momentum.
with 1 momentum and a repercussion.
Okay. The momentum you don't need. You guys can bank that one, so you guys can save that for the team later. The repercussion, I'm just going to go ahead and take right now, is 2 threat, giving me a massive 18 threat.
Oh my gosh.
Doesn't that fade away at the end of the scene?
No, mine
Ours
doesn't.
does.
Ours does.
Yours does. But we're in a groupish
okay.
back and forth scene, so that's fine. The information you get is quite simple. This ship has come from the Rindle Belt. That is the name of it. It is a planetary sector, and particularly an asteroid belt within it, that is in the frontier region of space. The frontier, if we look at our galactic map, it would be on the northeast side of our galactic map, and it is a collection of planets that do not belong to the Alliance. They favor their freedom a great deal, but they tend to be rather backwater, struggling style planets. Generally, you have no authority there, but your scum of the earth will easily fall back there because there's no profits there to stop them.
Yeah.
And that's what you're able to glean. No, not what you're able to glean. Yeah, you did. That was the difficulty 4. That is all you're able to glean. No, that is not all you're able to glean. You also, again, it was so huge.
Bipolar Tom.
You also are able to recover a lot of data that they have going back and forth to this region, and they pretty much, you go back and forth to this belt over and over again. You're able to actually go back to the deleted data and find some. That it gives you some possible revelations of a single tech point that can be used by a script to make a tech card later.
So you have a tech point.
Ooh.
Do I have a tech point?
Just go ahead and grab it.
So
Just don't grab it in the future if you guys are like really separated.
because the ship goes back there a lot, is the navigation for the ship easier? Because it's been on this path over and over.
Yes, and with these coordinates and this hard roll, Ash can replicate that on another ship at least once or twice.
Or maybe the ship again.
This ship?
I'm just
Kind of
not,
ugly.
I mean, it just
International
It's still in our
waters, my
purview.
friend.
We are not pirates.
There is a casting of a spell by Velu, and it is a blessing spell upon Script the Android. What is that visual or sensation like?
This one would have kind of a visually, I envision the same kind of silvery kind of glow, but it has like a spinning vortex of little stars inside.
Okay. You are now blessed the first time. This lasts just 1 minute, sir, and it gives you a bonus D20 on a test.
That was very pretty. Thank you.
I did want to add more time if possible.
Grant an additional no more than one estimated single turn. Oh yeah, you need to make your roll. Go ahead and make your roll.
Maybe.
I'll add 2 and not give you threat.
You're doing your mental damage, so he can
hurt.
hurt himself to cast these spells more.
3 more mental wounds.
2 more mental wounds.
Don't they go away at the end of the...
How many dice?
Session?
What?
I'm adding 2 dice. It's 1 per mental wound.
Okay,
Yeah.
yes.
So it's 2 additional damage to my hit. 2, 3, 4. I don't have that. I can reroll this. I have 4 so far. Let's make that 5. So 1 success, 4 momentum. I'll make it a total of 5 minutes and blow all of that momentum into it.
No, with that many successes, you got like half hour for that to last.
Oh, wow, okay. All right.
You are blessed to sweet Jesus.
Bless the baby Jesus and back.
What I just said.
I don't know how to feel about that.
I feel blessed.
And I will continue on to the hole.
Enjoy the momentum.
You said there was another computer terminal.
Yes.
That we might be able to glean some more information on with some light hacking, maybe.
Yes.
And that uses the education skill, correct?
Yes.
Take a shot at that.
Go for it.
Use our momentum to
I remember what I taught you about the hacking.
What did you teach me ever?
If it doesn't work the first time, try it again.
You are the one who was
Difficulty one.
hacking at the beginning of this episode.
2 successes and a repercussion.
Okay. With 2 successes, you are able to bring up video from the ship's internal cameras. Most of them are not working. They have really crappy video. Most of the cameras are down, but you're able to get a bit of video of 2 people returning back to the ship a couple hours ago. About 3 or 4 hours ago. They look similar to the video you got from the hospital. And there's some people talking in the corridor you guys came in when you entered the ship. And there's some people arguing in the quarters, and then some people arguing in the bridge. You see a man and a woman arguing so much that he pushes her down, and she gets up and pushes him back. And then he and another guy start tapping away furiously at the very computer you're on, and the astrogation computer as well. And then they storm off, and you got a pass with 2 momentum, you said? That you're using?
1 momentum.
With
A
one
pass
momentum.
and 1 momentum, and then a repercussion.
And a repercussion. That's all the information that you get then. And the repercussion is that you also see the person messing with the power on the ship. And you note, particularly Ash notes it as well, that the power of the ship has been dramatically depleted.
This
It is
reminds
running
me
on.
of an episode of Airwolf.
Of Airwolf?
Yeah, there's a Russian base where there's serum. Where these doctors were working on some sort of like virus or serum or something, and they got exposed to it, and people were going crazy, and there were dead rabbits, and then they had to come in with Airwolf and rescue somebody.
Tim's on to me. That's where I get it all from.
And you found a boy in space.
All right.
Get a hero point for knowing the theme song.
There you go.
In the hold, we have a Script and Velu. You guys enter the hold. It's somewhat difficult to see, but you can make your way around. And it's a big open hold, like some big balcony things that look down. And there's room for tons of giant canisters that are maybe the size of a car that's turned on its backside. And the hold is maybe only a third full. And you are able to check out and see that they are filled with something called hydromethane.
So they, I mean, do they say that they're filled with that, or do we know that they're filled with that?
Shoo. Make a sciences roll. Dr. Fineglass grimacing. He's not there.
Guy in the video said
No
That
successes.
was really close.
Okay.
I rolled
2
two 19s.
All right. And as Script is doing that,
Can I like open up the canister and like smell it?
you might be able to, but before you do that, Velu, as he's typing away on that, you note with interesting awe just for briefly, like, well, that's interesting, as strange, probably 5 or 6 energetic white claws reach out from between and underneath some of these canisters and claw at Script as he is being attacked.
Ah!
What flavor were the white claws?
I like it.
I now get it.
He is being attacked by multiple enemies all at once, grabbing and pulling him underneath some of
my
these
gosh.
stored canisters or between some of these canisters. I am spending 1 threat and a lot of claws to get you right now, senor.
Before you roll,
Yes.
your blessing, by the way, just want to keep
yeah.
in mind, you have it can be added to a test. It can be used as a response without generating threat.
How about right now? I'm going to respond in whatever way I can using that.
Okay.
Well, that's up to you.
So yeah. Right now you can try to take because you're not aware. You cannot do a response action. You cannot. It is attacking you right now.
Wow. Blessing can only do so.
Only so much. Catching him by surprise with a 1, with a pass and a momentum. You are attacked and clawed at, taking only 2 points of damage on your ankles and boots as these weird energetic claws grab and scrape at you. What is Script's sound of pain?
Ah.
Okay. What is Script's sound of pleasure?
Ah.
What is Script's sound of certain political candidates being made president? Okay.
Was that right or left?
Left, please. Script is dropped and Script is being pulled in. Script, make a strength roll. We're doing versus. Difficulty 1 versus. I'm spending another threat.
Strength, not athletics, right?
Athletics. I'm sorry. Always athletics. Sorry.
So I have 1 in the initial category.
Expertise.
Yeah, which means that if I roll a 1, I get 2. Damn it.
The green number is the only number. Green and the total number.
Okay, 1 success.
1 success is a tie. Velu, he's pulled under. And he's able to hold on, and he's up to his crotch, halfway underneath this.
Doesn't a tie go to the
Only
player?
on defensive rolls.
But
This is a flat out.
That's a
total.
natural 1, but that doesn't matter.
Right, because I would need one of the
Focus points.
Yeah, focus points.
And so he's getting pulled underneath a little bit. And he's making another sound of alarm.
Ah.
What sound does he make when he's making little baby Scripts?
Like you haven't heard that sound before.
Da.
Hold on, Script. And Vale will reach out and try to grab hold of him with some psychic energy and pull him free of the claws.
All right. In what kind of psychic energy are you doing? That may not work. Let's take a look at it, pal. He exerts force on objects that were handled in person with both hands using the force can perform 5 minutes. That absolutely does work. So yeah, he gets close, reaches out with his hands, but then stops just short.
Instead, these I guess Bigby's fists, if you will, reach out to you and take hold of not you, but the actual barrier that's protecting you a bit, and pulls on that and tries to pull you free.
All right, they are resisting.
2 successes, since I'm guessing difficulty 1.
All right. You are able to pull and pull and pull, and you are able to get him free from underneath this gas vent. And as you pull him out, you also pull out 4 or 5 of these crew members. Their hands are made of energy claws like you saw back at the hospital. Their eyes intensely white. And at that exact moment, Zoma is going around through bedding and just kind of looking around inside some corridors and looking at some photos on the walls. You do see one room that has a lot of burnt marks around electrical devices.
Well, this is kind of strange. Maybe I should have kept my gun out. I feel like I should wish Script luck. Hey, Script, how's everything going? What the fuck is happening? Why you be separate?
That's the universal sound for get your ass over here now.
Everyone's Script is obviously in trouble. He did not communicate before he got into trouble. I guess we have to go to hold now. I'll make my way to the hold.
All right. And Zoma is running there like crazy. The rest of you are...
I guess we will head to the hold.
Following suit. We have our friends currently pulling back and getting away from these dead. And what we do have right here is a battle on our hands, everybody. A battle.
I love battle.
Which I have not in any way loaded up in advance. Here we go.
Don't forget to unpause it for me.
Oh, good call. All right. And I just got to rearrange some stuff here.
I've got a lovely picture of our group shot. When you're ready, we'll look for the map.
Working on it. And we have, who was it? Script. And Velu.
And Script is still attached to these creatures? He's separated?
Yeah, he is separated, but only by a few feet. Okay. Here's what we have with an activated map. For those of you that are watching on Twitch, you should be able to see this map now, or you can check this out on YouTube. And essentially what we have is a square hold type area made up of different zones. Several of them are just blank holes because the canisters weren't filled up a lot. There's some sections in the middle that have a bunch of canisters that also provide cover and are a little bit difficult to move through. There's a balcony on the north side with a couple ladders that lead up to it. And on the on the west side is the entrance you came in, and on the east side is where our 2 prophet heroes are located, Ash and Velu, with 4 of these crew members that are pushing on you and pressing you guys up against a wall. As this happens on the west side, the door smashes open, even more than it was, I guess, and Zoma is on scene right now. Zoma, you are in the entrance, and you see there is a crew member right in front of you. And as you go to warn him to watch out, there might be problems, he whips around, and you see bright light coming out of and he's got freaking energy claws in his hands, and he turns on you.
Don't worry, the prophets are...
Y'all went to the same defensive school.
We graduate same class.
So for the you 3 prophets who are currently in the scene, you can go in any order you so choose.
Fuck.
That's a subroutine I haven't heard before.
No, you have. Script will say to run, and then we'll run. And run to the, I guess, north towards the ladder.
Okay.
And trying to get to the balcony.
You can you can get to the ladder.
Okay.
So Script runs north and is getting to the ladder.
Zoma has drawn his weapon and will try to speak to the possessed crew member. This did not go well for the last person who got in my way.
He rears back with energy claws to Wolverine you.
All right. And I will dodge, I suppose.
Your turn. You're going first.
Oh, I go first. Okay.
Yeah.
Then attack at all cost.
I assume this hydrochloric methane is probably very explosive.
So here is a cool thing the system allows us to do, and that allows me to create little areas. In particular, if you want to spend 2 group momentum or 2 momentum, I can spend 2 threat. You can have a canister blast so that everyone within the zone has to take some minor damage as another way to spend momentum. But they have to be in a canister zone, with zones with canisters in it.
And we have to have momentum.
Yep. Zoma, what you doing?
Just real quick, these zones with the some are solid lines, some are not. Or does that affect anything at all?
Well, my line. I'm working on my lines, so it all just.
Okay, I
makes
just
sense.
didn't know. If it
You just can't go direct to the balcony without going through a ladder.
Nope, no problem. Yeah, I will just go for a hopeful face shot.
So
here.
before you roll, you're using your submachine gun you had out.
I am using my speeder SMG.
He is going to be within reach of you. He was very close. So your submachine gun does not have the close combat trait, so your difficulty will just be increased by 1.
I have a clear shot talent, which reduces the penalty for firing at a range by 1 step to a minimum of 0.
That's fine. That doesn't apply to this when you're right on top of it.
Okay, well then I will.
You're still got good odds. Difficulty 2.
Can I keep my gun in front of me but use my horn instead?
You sure can.
I will do that.
All right.
I warned you, or should I say, I horned you.
The eye contact that I got from that was very uncomfortable.
One success.
1 success, and I wanted him to.
I look at camera, not to you.
And he is going to dodge that to make sure you do not succeed, spending 1 threat. There we go. And he dodges the blow, stepping out and swiping you back up at the last second, and your horn does not strike. You still have a minor action if you have anything you want to do, otherwise you are done.
I will. Is there any type of cover in this entranceway?
Right now, there's just the entrance. And you do have friends coming up behind you real fast.
Okay, minor action. I'll try to get around him.
You can.
Yeah, I'll get around him, get closer to the hull.
Oh, wait, you were in reach. You can do that, but that will give him essentially an opportunity attack.
That's okay. We'll just we'll kind of parry each other right now. That's
Okay,
fine.
staying put. Velu, you're last to go this turn before they get to.
All right. I'm seeing where Script is trying to go, and I concentrate, use my movement to give you 1 threat, and I will teleport to the top of the rail.
Using your racial ability to teleport.
Yes.
That does work. You teleport up to the railing. This is the balcony up above. As you do so, you see there are 3 people waiting for you on top of the balcony. Take a look at your map.
That's awesome.
3 more crew members await you, and they kind of look and they turn their heads. They were looking to try and sneak up and pounce maybe from the balcony, but now they see easier prey of you teleporting up to them.
All right. To that end, then I lash out at the first one, the closest one that is on the rail,
Okay.
and I will telekinetically strike.
All right.
That is 3, so 1 success, 2 momentum.
Momentum.
Nice.
Do you want to bank any of that, or are you going to use it all?
We'll go ahead and we'll use it all. We'll.
I noticed that the first session,
Green.
lots of you gonna bank that at all, buddy?
Yes.
I'm on the last. I'll make sure to go first next time. So this is an attack.
Oh, that's true.
They're in the range. So this will be armor piercing and possible reroll to fall. So 1, I've got 1 banked right now, but I'll probably be using it.
because there's no reason
Yeah.
to bank it.
I thought it was good till the end.
Each combat round it
is-
goes down.
Each round.
It fades.
Oh.
Yeah, it decays by 1. I think.
Yeah, yeah.
Left leg. So I've got armor piercing 1, soak left leg, and I'm going to take a chance and reroll these last.
By spending
Additional.
another momentum
Yep.
to do that. All right.
Yep.
It's going for huge damage.
No change. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Damage. Armor piercing 1,
Pierce 1. Okay.
and that's left leg.
You see as you strike him, and you're picking up nearby debris, little tools and stuff around the hold, and
What's in front of me?
just goes flashing at him and hits him. You see just a thin veil around his skin light up and protect him just a little bit because you did do some piercing, and that veil looks very similar to what was around the boy back at the hospital. Is what you see. You are done. It is their turn. I am looking at this map, and I think we should swarm the hell out of some people. But first, let's go with Zoma. Zoma, you've got this guy you just swiped at. He is going to attack back first.
Dodge.
He is going to, he's going to swipe at you. Go ahead and make a dodge roll. That's acrobatics.
Dodge roll.
And this essentially is increasing his difficulty if you roll well enough.
I did not. I can, however, re-roll an acrobatics. I did not.
All right, I'm going to spend 3 threat, and he's going to go for big extra dice and get you down. He swings with his claws. Oh, my goodness. God, all 4 dice missed. How does not a single success come of that? And he swipes and just claws up some of the hole nearby your head. You kind of look at the damage on the steel and like, ooh. But he is done. However, there are many more deeper inside to the east side of this hole with the lights flickering. And what we have in particular are our friend Ash. Ash, you have 4 of these crew members that were trying to pull you underneath.
Script.
Script. You have 4 of these crew members that were trying to get you
Is
from
that
underneath.
is that what the always calling the person the wrong name is going to be
that's
this
what's
season?
Gonna be this season. They come quickly running after you, and they are now on the ladder, climbing up, chasing after you, but they can't quite get to you this turn. They're just reaching out, but can't quite get to you, but they're about to. Our friends on the balcony. One drops down and moves closer to the entrance. Another moves over towards Velu and lashes out with his claws. And I've spent a total of 4 threat now. And he is going to get
I
him
am defensively reacting
with your barrier.
with my barrier.
Okay, roll it.
Oh my god, that's gonna. I need to hero point that.
To do what?
I
Reroll?
had to reroll the dice.
Okay. And don't forget, you guys can spend hero points in advance to set it to a really good roll.
That is 13, 14.
Yeah, keep the character sheet out with your numbers ready so we can keep things
14
going.
is a work. That's 2 successes.
So, all right. He swipes, and you're able to dodge out of the way nimbly, as a mystic sometimes does, apparently. However, there is one last guy left to go. He has the name Oark on his outfit, the captain of the group, and he blasts at you with energy from his hand, and white sparks go flying out and kick up more metal debris and small oxygen canisters and start swirling it around all over the place within your zone. You need to make an acrobatics roll to, hold on, I'm going to spend 3 more threat.
The barrier doesn't last through that.
Nope. Acrobatics roll difficulty 3, or take a good, big, juicy amount of 6 dice of damage.
I think that's gonna happen. I won't make acrobatics 3 with the 3 difficulty.
You can buy dice. You can do whatever you want. Or
Okay.
just
Right.
say you can't pull it off.
Use your hero point, set yourself a.
There's a lot of different ways you can try it, or just say it's not worth the expenditure.
Take that.
What's your call?
I think we'll have to.
Give me a decision.
It's not worth it.
Okay.
I'll hunker down.
You hunker down. Debris is whirling and whirling and creating essentially a damaging cloud of debris that's going to stay here for a little bit. You are hammered with 6 dice of damage, and I only rolled 2 points of damage on you.
Oh,
And you are
still be
bonked
bad.
upside the torso.
How much is it?
That's a good question.
That's it for
I didn't
them.
know so.
It is a new round, and Zoma, by the entrance, you are reassured as your 3
So does one.
fellow prophets enter and join you in the entrance. All 6 prophets are here. What would you guys like to do?
There's
Hey,
a
we're
f-
here.
There's a forklift in the area that I'm in, right?
Yes. Down below.
They all seem to be possessed like the others in hospital.
After you.
All right, so Dr. Pastuza is triggering a special ability.
Another question. I assume in this bay there's like clamp arms and things like that to move the.
Absolutely.
Okay. And do those have basically run to the whole area?
Yes,
right.
other than the balcony.
Where is a terminal? Is
It
there a terminal on the balcony?
There's a terminal on the balcony.
I will be heading towards that terminal.
Okay, you spend a minor action to climb up next to your mystic buddy on the balcony.
While staying out of the damage cloud.
Oh, no, that's the whole zone if you do that. So the terminal is currently being hit by this cloud, that's right.
Okay. In that case, I am going to actually go for the forklift and get in it.
Okay, that will mean you have to leap off the ladder, clearing the people climbing up underneath you and to land safely on the bottom. Can you make an acrobatics check for me, please?
Good luck.
Yeah, script, you got this. Top.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
He leaps off.
Oh,
A success and a repercussion.
All right. You succeed in landing.
Do I have anything I can reroll? No.
All right, you succeed in landing in the forklift. However, you were grabbed by 2 of them and pull 2 of them down on top of you into the forklift. So you land, it's an open top, you land in top, and 2 more on top of you. It is, and you of course make a sound that sounds like as you land. And that is the situation you are in with a minor action. You still have a major action left to go.
Oh, minor action left to go.
Major standard
action.
action. Standard action.
Oh, standard action. I will shoot whoever is on top.
All
of
right,
me,
like
I suppose.
literally on top. With eyes shining into you. Put your gun right up to them. It is going to increase the difficulty. Difficulty 2 to pull this off.
All right. That's fine. That's fine. Let's do it. That is going to be 3 successes.
Woo! So that's a hit with 2 momentum. What are you doing?
I'm gonna spend all.
No, that's hit with 1.
One momentum.
I keep doing that.
Can
gotta figure
I
that out.
add a die of damage for the momentum?
You can add 1 flat point.
Okay, so I will do that, and I have 5 dice of damage, and that's going to be 4 total damage, including the momentum.
A single shot.
Where?
Oh yeah,
It
to a
won't matter
place.
in this particular case. A single shot, it cracks out, and you blast the guy in the head, and he is dead.
Great.
On
and-
top of you.
Yeah.
And
Get off!
Also, the wonderful mystic who was hit by this debris, you are also dazed for your next turn only. So every difficulty is increased by 1 for your next turn.
All right.
Who else would like to go?
Zoma, is this your friend?
I think I would.
We're
like
getting
to
to
go
know
next.
each other.
Can I
Why
go
don't you
next?
go ahead?
Velu.
Taylor would like to go next.
go ahead.
And the debris around you settles.
Oh, it settles. Okay, good. I will teleport from where I'm at to the farthest corner of the hold if I can.
You can go 2 zones, and that will cost you a threat to teleport, and it will trigger a reaction from the guy next to you.
Oh, he's close enough?
Yes. No, he has not gotten. No, yes, you can move within reach when you enter a zone. So he is, yes.
Yes? Okay. Well, I need to get out of there, so I will teleport into this.
All right, gaining a threat for you to teleporting, and he is going to take a look at how this works. We've not done an opportunity attack yet, have we? That is a reaction. It is called Retaliate. A character same melee engagement could reasonably reach can retaliate. Each character form gets a free. However, that costs him the very threat you just gave him. He goes ahead and makes a attack against you. This was that guy. He is going to spend a threat, and additionally on top of that to roll an additional die to try and take you down. Freaking mother. Swings and misses. These crew are not pulling it off. He cuts, but it's too late.
Too late. I find myself into a corner of the hold as far as I can go.
You can go to, yeah, you can go down to there.
Just to be safe, I'll make it the corner opposite that.
Here?
Yeah. Wherever. Yeah, I mean, if I could teleport there.
You can. You're on top of canisters in the middle of the hold.
Cool.
Sort of. Filled with methane.
And I will take a shot at the cluster of guys there.
And what does taking a shot mean?
Kinetically, I am bringing just debris and trolleys and whatnot to cluster into them, probably increasing their soak.
All right. And which targets were these one more time?
The 3 that are in that little cluster, if I'm reading that right.
Oh, there's one that's on top of script, and there are 2 that are on the ladder. I'll clean that up for you.
Alrighty. Well, let's get 2 on the ladder.
That is good. Make a strike. It is difficulty 2 due to your day's condition.
Yes, difficulty 2. I am going to pressure myself for 2 additional wounds.
So you're hurting, taking additional mental wounds to
Yes.
get more dice.
Yep.
Seth is shaking his head.
So success and 2 momentum.
Okay. How you doing that?
We'll take 1 of the momentum and we will make it a burst to hit targets, the 3 different targets, or 2 different targets that are there.
Spend 1 to gain the blast quality. Yes, you can absolutely do that. Nice.
So 1 will get hit, and I think the others get hit for half that amount?
Yep. Okay. You just roll 1 damage.
2, 4, 5.
5? 5.
And right leg.
Right leg.
I roll another damage indication? No, it's multiple.
Yeah, just
multiple
one.
guys.
All right, boom! You send more debris flying across the room over Ash and his forklift. You hit 1 guy, 1 crew member. Damn it, script! Damn it, script! In the forklift, you hit 1 of the crew members that are possessed and demolish him. He's broken. His spine is inverted, and you badly wound another who drops, but is still alive and rises up from the ground. And
for a minor action, I chime in on my my comms. I see a few of the crew here, and one of them is certainly more well adorned than the others.
You mean one is the
Did
captain?
you say well adorned? It's fancier dressed?
Fancier dress.
I don't see
Has a
how that's
title.
relevant.
Let's get after it.
Well, I am well adorned, I thank you.
We're under attack! Hurry up! And scene.
Yeah, noting how vicious but fragile they are, Zoma will say, they appear to be very vicious but also very fragile. And I will try to hit him with the butt of my gun, basically.
Okay.
Like on our...
this would be a close combat roll.
yes. don't know. I don't have that. Do I?
He'll spend one threat to try and dodge.
Yeah, it's close combat. It's right under acrobatics.
Oh, on the thing. Sorry.
Yep.
Jeez. Okay. I'm gonna use a hero point to reroll one.
Let's reroll all.
Oh, good. And place one.
No.
Or
You have
If
to-
you used a
that's if
D4,
you don't
you're
roll.
different thing.
He's trying.
Brian. No successes.
Oh, he tries to hit him with the butt of his submachine gun, but fails. And you still have a minor action. You want to try and risk an opportunity attack to move away, stay put.
And you have momentum available too.
No. I mean, no. It's not really worth anything.
Okay.
I'll keep him distracted for what I can do.
He will stay engaged with you.
While he's engaged, Ash will pull his 45 Ronin and fire at him.
Okay.
10 and a 10, and that is. Oh shoot! I'm firing range, right? You
Yep.
went in close. Yeah. So 2 successes.
2 successes. That is a pass with a momentum, is what that
Woo!
means.
I will put a momentum in for the group.
Okay.
The following 2, and hit him for.
And Seth, I'm down by 4. Should have 8.
I shoot him right in the head for 4 points of damage.
For 4 points of damage, you see a sheen appear around him, and he is fine.
Oh.
Wow.
He flinches a little bit. There's a little bit of blood.
Fine Glass, are you done?
Yes.
Fine Glass notices that and takes a shot as well. Then, in that case.
Are you the last
he's-
act?
Okay, so 2 momentum gives me 2.
One
Two
die.
dice.
One gives you 1.
Yeah. so
If you
got one
if you
extra
also
die.
give a threat, you can get 2 extra die. You can get an extra die, so 2 total.
Okay, I'll do that. I'll pay 1 threat and I get 2 more dice.
Yeah, because of spending that group momentum. There's a lot of dice. And the stakes for this, since you are 4 of you in the entrance, you see him pulling out with his hands and starting to quiver around. Hold on. I'm talking. Oh, that doesn't count. He's quivering his hands and bringing in lots of debris, and he's going to start creating that debris and hit all 4 of you in the entrance on his attack.
Uh-oh.
Okay. All right.
Good luck.
All right, and that's shooty.
Ranged combat.
Ranged combat.
It's also on your weapon stats.
These negotiations.
So I have 1, 2, 3 successes.
Plus whatever your gun does. Plus 1.
No, he's talking
that's
to
damage.
hit.
Successes.
Just to hit.
Just to
So
hit.
3 successes.
Okay, so that's a hit with 2 momentum.
Okay. And then it's 2 points of damage to the right arm.
And then you can use one of the momentum for another point of damage, right?
So 3 points of damage to the
Oh,
right
both.
arm.
Yeah, so 4.
4 points of damage to the right arm.
About 3.
Oh, and those were spent.
Yeah.
All right. With 2 armor and 2 life left, he drops dead from Fineglass's shot. That was a very important shot. Everyone pooling together to make that shot work. What do you say when you finish that dude off?
As I was saying earlier, if it doesn't work the first time, you try it again.
And that's it for the group, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. One crew member who is heading towards the entrance
You're after that. That's right. Sorry.
instead heads east to the canisters and then climbs up the canisters and gets right on top of Velu, but engages with him, but can't get the attack off quite yet.
Bastard maneuver.
There is Script on a forklift who's laying on his back with one of these electro-zombie type guys on top of him, and it is clawing like crazy, and it has a reduced difficulty to get you, unless you're going to, well, you can't dodge.
Is there anything I can parry?
You can't. You cannot. And he
Riposte.
only has the one.
And what does this blessing shield do for me?
I've told you 3 times.
Okay, well, tell me 4.
Memory is going to start costing you momentum. It will allow you to use a response action without having to use threat, so it's freebie, or you get the free die on a test, and it doesn't specify, so just add a die.
Okay.
And then there's
That's pretty much it.
other fun stuff.
That's
for others.
Okay.
All right. He is swiping at you. You are pinned, and he swipes and claws, and he comes down hard, and instead he takes a chunk out of some little roll cage bar things instead and does not hit you at all with his even lower difficulty. However, another guy is climbing up who came off the ladder, and he climbs up, and he is going to attack you. And just as he is trying to claw at your thigh section and you're being attacked, there's a third guy from the balcony who just drops off with his arms at his side, all of the happening, and comes dropping down on top of you. And they are both going to attack you, and they're going to spend one threat to get an additional die on top of that. Claws, oh plenty.
So I have a response action. Can I just at least try and hold their arms and stuff to increase difficulty as this response action?
Not just your situation is really poor right now. Sorry. You are hit by a single pair of claws. You are hit in the left leg.
Ooh, it's where it hit me before.
It pierces your armor by 1 point.
So I get no soak.
For only 1 point of damage.
Okay.
And I'm going to trigger their Void Fear ability with a threat and deal 1 stress point to you. So a stress point's going to make his critical failures happen a little bit more often, those repercussions.
Okay.
All right. That is it for all of them except for the captain up top. He starts to shake with his right hand and blasts out some little bolts of white energy, like little mini lightning bolts, across the hold at Velu, who's almost at equal height on top of the canisters.
Oh no.
Velu, watch out.
Velu, watch out.
Velu, watch out. Velu is going to activate his barrier.
Hold on. Give me a second. He is doing... yes, go ahead. This would be a dodge or whatever that barrier is.
The barrier, yeah. That is 2 successes with the barrier.
Okay, so that is here. 8.
You guys must be just terrible in every other game because they're killing it in this one.
No, seriously.
That's
So
good.
this-
That's good. You've dodged it. He
okay.
blasts away. You not only dodge out of the way, but you trip up with his repercussion. You trip up the guy next to you and have him drop off, and he is no longer on top of the canister next to you.
Oh.
It is almost a new round. We have, last but not least, Dr. Pastuza to go.
Dr. Pastuza is going to move into the canister section that Velu is in, using a momentum to do that. He has 2 personal momentum.
Because of the after
after
you.
you.
Yeah, but how do you move?
Can't you spend a momentum to move an extra to do another action?
Oh, you can spend, I believe, 2 to do that.
Okay.
Bum, bum, bum.
So you could sprint.
You guys have it under your combat modifiers. Your combat modifier sheet. Combat momentum chart.
Yeah.
It is called... no, it doesn't even... Yeah, Swift Strike, the
Yeah,
character,
Swift Strike.
may perform an additional standard action this round, which may be another attack. So it's only for attacks, so you can't do it that way. The only way
okay.
for you to get another full action is to burn a hero point.
Well, then I will move into the whole section on a regular
All right?
move, and then I will spend the...
Doctor racing in.
I will do doing a standard attack.
Okay, blasting at the guy on the ground not too far away.
Yep.
Okay.
For 1 success.
What's the range of your pistol?
Ah,
Close. So that means you needed 2 difficulty. Bang! He shoots and misses. I will spend 2 threat to trigger a gas canister being hit by that stray bullet.
Oh no!
The gas canister flares up momentarily before a seal kicks in, but it does blast some hydromethane at our dear mystic on top. Make a resistance difficulty 2.
Sorry.
What?
So even if you're in the same room, even if you're on opposite sides of the room, it's still like a difficult shot.
You have to be in the same section.
Close.
Same zone. This would be close. So if somebody was in the hole with him, that would be close. This is the next range.
Medium.
This will be 2.
Oh, so that's why it was difficult.
Okay, so that's a fail.
A fail.
All right. Our mystic is blasted with some flame that gets him from the gas. You take only 1 point of unsoakable damage to the torso and 1 stress.
On stress.
At least it wasn't mental damage.
Well, stress doesn't work well for me either.
Dr. Pastuz is done. It is a whole new round. All of you can go again. We have 3 enemies essentially on top of Script on the forklift, and 1 that's kind of near in the middle of the hold.
Velu, do you want to go first?
Altitude?
Nope.
Nope. Okay, so it's just flamed up.
Yep.
Got it.
Velu, do you want to go first?
Yes.
Yeah,
Velu,
Should be like him and you. Him and you.
yeah, right.
Velu will launch a just redirecting the shards that have come up, anything that broke away from the tanks, and flechetting it out into the pile that is adorning Script presently.
Oh, okay.
That's pretty
Covering the forklift.
And I'm going to give you 2 threats and add a die.
All right, I have 7 total right now.
So I'm going to change. Okay. That is 2 successes. So 1 and 1, 1 success, 1 momentum. We'll use the burst across those enemies that are there.
Yeah, good use of that.
And that will be 1 damage because I was shorting the damage. 1 damage plus what I roll. We'll do it. So it is 3 points of damage across the 3 enemies
Okay.
in the left arm.
All right, 3 points of damage. You do a little bit of damage to 1 guy, and then it's half of that to just 1 target. So it's 1 target for each momentum you blast with. So you got 1 additional target because you spent 1 momentum on it.
Okay.
And that does no damage whatsoever.
Oh.
They seem unfazed. Thankfully, Script is also unfazed. Who would like to go next?
Zoma will go. I will get to the ladder if possible. That's to the northeast of me, so that's 2 spaces, right? Or is that technically?
So no, a minor would get you. Sorry, I'm moving with it. Minor would get you there. A minor action.
Yeah.
And what if you use your standard action, you can go an additional space, and another minor and standard would get you 3 spaces. Or you can shoot from where you're at, or do something else.
How many? Can I get to the very top corner of this zone, please? The top right corner.
Top of.
Like to the very kind of, and I want to get line of sight to the guy on the balcony.
Yeah. The where within the zone doesn't matter. Yeah, you have line of sight on the balcony for sure.
Okay. In that case, I will pull out my Spitter SMG once again, and I will aim at the orc captain.
What is the range of your weapon?
It is a where's the range? Close range, but I have an ability called Sniper.
Yep. No,
Making it.
No, it's not. It's a different one. But I know what you mean. So this is long range right here. So the difficulty is going to be.
How is it?
There's 3 zones.
3 zones.
Hull, canisters, balcony, or hull, balcony. You're an L type of a shape. It's all kind of relative.
Just shot.
From here to here
Okay.
at range. Right. He shot that guy, not the captain.
That's not what I meant. But
So right now the difficulty
it's
would
1-2.
be 3 with your special ability. It drops it down to 2.
You can do it.
Yeah,
You
do
just
it.
need
It's only 2.
You might just need a little bit of a boost to guarantee it. 'Cause
I will give you a threat.
I'll take it.
And
I
I
need
will
it.
add a d20, or is it?
1
One
d20, so you're
D20.
chucking 3 dice.
Yeah.
Zoma trying to get a hit in here.
3 successes.
Woo!
So
There you
that's
go.
1 and 2 momentum.
That's a
correct?
pass with 2 momentum.
One
Bullets
momentum.
fly across.
Yeah, because you needed.
Every time.
1 momentum? Oh,
One
give it
momentum.
difficulty 2.
Yep.
Yeah.
1 momentum. I want to use my momentum for a called shot here.
And you can roll everything first and then decide.
Yes. 1 plus 3. D6. Jesus fuck.
Can't you re-roll the?
I can.
You
hang
can
on.
re-roll a ton of them.
I can re-roll damage dice.
It's on your weapon chart next to the
Oh.
damage. I'm trying to make it
3,
easy
sorry.
for you.
I know. I appreciate it.
Trying to make it easy.
Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points of damage with my momentum to the torso.
Plus your actual base damage.
Yeah, that was
So
included.
5, that's juicy. And
I'm sorry, it wasn't including. So 6
6, and where do you want to hit him? Or
to the torso.
torso's good. So what are you doing with that momentum then?
Oh, I can do a called shot, and I have a ability that lets me move it 2 spaces. I'll just move it 1 to the head.
Okay, to the head. So that does that with a burst from the submachine gun. You single-handedly blow away Captain Oark off of the balcony. Holy moly, those rerolls were huge.
That's why we have 'em.
So is
Huge.
Script able to reach the controls of the forklift?
That would be crazy fun, yes.
So as Script goes, he's also jamming the forklift to go straight into the canisters. And just yep.
Bailey's eyes go wide.
And he's just gonna take the front forklift and just smash it straight into the canister and hopefully explode it.
All right, you smash it in. There is a larger explosion of gas. Kadoosh! And there is flame.
And can I use a hero point to pull one of those guys directly over me during that period?
You may. You take absolutely no damage whatsoever. There's a big burst within a couple zones. You immediately fry the guy on top of you and the other 2. All 3 are killed. You kill the one that is to the south of you in that zone next to
Wow.
Velu. And Velu needs to make a die-hard jumping off the rooftop roll. This is you're going to make a resistance again, difficulty 2 as the flames batter you or take some damage.
Okay. I'm going to give you 3 threat.
You can't teleport off that shit.
It's during a
that's
movement.
reaction.
This is a reaction. Wow. Wow. That's amazing.
4 repercussions.
It would almost seem that way.
What
You
happened?
said acrobatics?
Nope, resistance.
Sorry, resistance. Even then, it's still astonishing. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, with a resistance of 8.
That's
4.
huge.
That's 1 success, 3 momentum. I'm burning that momentum to dive in some crazy way to where I can make it on the floor, tumble a bit, and come up, and my cloak is actually just kind of nice.
All right, and you've banked 2 more on top of that. All the enemies have been fried by that reckless driving. And what's the sound of victory that Script makes?
I'm not gonna do it.
Come on.
Yay.
All right. There's flames, there's smoke, it's smoldering. There are the smells of burnt bodies. And once again, we come to a bit of a crossroads here within the show with the prophets laying amidst blood and chaos. And we will take our break here. And what we're going to do is ask our live viewers right now, go ahead and submit your vote for which prophet you would like to get a bonus hero point. And we will see what they say when we come back. And we are back. Unanimous with 100% of the vote for a hero point is to Script for his crazy, I believe they
Thank
said,
you.
voice. The fans voted for voice and his crazy antics. That was not the voice I think they were talking about.
You're talking about your depth of acting.
Is that
Inner
what we're
voice.
calling it?
He's making when he make that sound, I just imagine him making his USB-C face. All right. You get it. Come on.
I don't want to get it.
All right.
do, in fact.
I don't want it.
Lights flash in the hold. There is smoke. It smells nasty. And there's just this, I don't know, imagining like Batman fluttering down Velu with his cloak as he lands safely down on the ground. Who are you? I'm Velu.
That was unfortunate.
They all had the same type of things that happened back at the hospital.
How many casualties we have here total in this room?
All of them.
Can you, just for the sake of the fans, Tim, can you just put that on a flashcard to speed things up? We're going to be needing that in the campaign.
The answer we're looking for is too many, Bob.
I believe it was 6.
Where I'm going
No,
with this.
8.
Three humans and
Six,
then like those weird claws.
7, 8. I have 8.
Yeah, 8.
So where I'm going with this is trying to figure out if the entire crew, that known crew that we saw on the video monitors that Dr. Kills.
Yeah, you guys plundered a lot of that ship's computer, so yes, you're able to track down the total amount, and that is it.
Manifest.
And so that was the entire crew that we just left.
Yep.
Okay, all right. Ship's ours.
It's got quite a lot of damage to it.
By rights of salvage, it is now ours.
Hey,
I
let's
don't think that's a great idea.
Doc, if you wouldn't mind looking over the bodies to see if they still have those creepy claws. I want to just make sure that once they're deceased, that they don't have, any energy that could still be threatening to the majority of us.
Pazuzu will do that. We'll go to the nearest body and look and see the nearest body that's not been blown to smithereens.
All right.
Sorry.
You see that they have no weird white claws, no light emanating from their eyes. You see nothing medically odd at all with them whatsoever, other than being like impaled by thousands of pieces of metal fragments from Velu. And Dr. Pastuza, as you check out more than one, you're able to recover another 45 Ronin pistol, a slim lace pistol, and a hard old helmet.
Are you really giving Seth the loot?
Yep.
Oh my god.
He always wants to check, so
Not this campaign, but I'll gladly accept it. Slimline-
Not this
Slimline-
campaign, as he
Slim
like
lace.
pockets a bunch of stuff.
and an old helmet. What's the old helmet?
the old hard helmet gives you, don't get too excited, gives you a soak of 3, but every time it soaks, it permanently loses 1. So it's only useful for a little bit. But it's strong to start.
It was a 45 Ronin pistol, the helmet, and what else?
A slim lace
Only one
lace
person gets
pistol.
all the gear.
Yeah, but I want to keep a little better inventory this time because I don't know where a lot of things.
I'm not Malik, man.
I don't know where a lot of things got
there's
to.
no bag of holding either, so this is.
Yeah.
Is the.
Well, I think we were just really poor at inventorying our stuff too last season, just in general.
I wasn't. You guys were.
Okay.
Velu looks around, and as he lands heroically, his cloak flapping, the flames subsiding behind him, water starts to now spray down, and a foam starts to spray down. A retardant is now spewing and growing, building on the floor.
We'll wait for that.
What is the name of the chemical again?
Hydromethane.
Hydromethane.
Hydromethane is extremely toxic. As he's looking up and seeing the
scrubbing bubbles will
Zuma,
take
help
care
me
of it.
with one of these bodies. We need to get one body out of here.
What?
I want to take further looks at it in my laboratory.
You want me to carry this all the way back to
I'll
Citadel?
help you.
All right. What are you going to do?
Then yeah, you can carry
I'm
it.
going to be I'm going to be lifting you with it. Yeah, I'll take one. I'll take the captain's body. How about that?
For the second time, you are now on morgue duty and picking up bodies.
That day.
My white suit.
Professor Fineglass wants to basically I believe we need to quarantine this ship. Let's lock it down, go back to the Citadel, and inform Captain Valencia of what's occurred.
That sounds reasonable.
All right.
Script is like sniffing at the hydromethane to make sure that's actually what it is.
Make a sciences roll, please.
Science sniff.
Yeah. Did you know that the human nose can detect nearly 1 trillion odors? I have 1 success.
With 1 success.
Actually, wait. So if it's red, and you don't have the main skill, it's extra difficulty.
Yes.
All right, then.
And an extra repercussion range as well.
I have failed.
Okay. But androids only have 1 scent they can detect. The scent of failure.
Apparently,
That's the name of the episode, by the way. The scent
I
of
smell
failure.
failure.
If we're heading out, Vela wants to try and recover some sort of personal log of someone aboard ship.
You can find Shelley's, the lady who did one of the voice messages. You can find a digital log of some personal library entries. Nothing particularly relevant to the current plot, but you have some of her personal information, calls back home, that kind of stuff.
Thank you.
Ash, maybe you could use this. And hands off the helmet to
Okay.
Ash.
The old helmet.
And then as Zoma is walking along, he tucks the 2 pistols into his waistband.
Oh, so you got a decent sized gun, but your problem is you don't have the short range weapon.
And then I don't know what the 1 slim lace pistol does.
Would you like to know a little bit about the slim lace?
Fastuza doesn't care.
Jack, tell him what he's won. Here's the slim lace. You can put it in your weapons stat if you want on your block.
I do.
It is range close, damage 1 plus 3 dice 1 plus 3 dice, and you still have the 3 rerolls for that. Impact is 1, semi-automatic, encumbrance 2. It's definitely one-handed. Reliability 3. With me so far? And it has the 3 interesting, not 1, but 3 interesting qualities to it. Most important one for you is the close quarters one. So now you can blast away when they're right on top of you with no penalty.
Yay.
Pretty cool. To bring it down a notch, it has the perishable quality. If you ever... It's gelatinous in nature.
This one is expired.
Gotta hurry and shoot. It's 2 days from now. Which means if you ever roll 3 swords on the damage at once, it will take a degradation somewhere on its stats of my choosing.
So
But
that's a bad thing.
it is not called slim lace for nothing. It is very thin and slightly longish, but very thin and easily concealable. It has the hidden 1 trait, which means no one can see it from a visual inspection. They actually have to pat you down, difficulty 1, to find it. And for super coolness, if you spend 2 momentum right after you fire it, you can hide it.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Was that
You
the
have to roll a
gun?
dice to see where you hide it.
roll your target in the head.
I really
What's
like
the reliability? I don't think I've ever asked that about our weapons.
Yeah, reliability is, I haven't been touching it yet. It allows me to burn a lot of my threat to start to mess with your weapons. More than just a jam. I can't jam them or just do more trouble with them. But we're not messing with it yet. Okay, what are you guys doing?
We're headed back to base. Yeah.
Yeah,
head back
sounds
to the
like
Citadel.
we're locking the ship down. Putting some police tape up.
There are docking
Profit
clamps you guys can order to be placed on here.
Yeah.
Zoma is fireman carrying a dead body back to the truck.
As you do so, you see a concerned guy in overalls with a data pad walk up.
Too much to drink last night. Don't worry about it.
Everything all right then?
This is an active crime scene.
We're great. Thank you.
Crime
I'll have a
scene?
different response, and here's mine.
Get out! Run!
You mentioned
Official
we're-
profit business.
Tim, you mentioned we're quarantining the ship. Does that look like anything?
Is it the
Just
same?
spray painting a big P on that side.
Is it Adam from earlier? Is that?
Yes.
Is that wasn't that his name?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't.
think so.
I don't think I asked his name. Anyway,
No, you did not ask his name.
whether we've quarantined the ship for now. Make sure that nobody goes in or out.
Quarantine? I'm gonna unload the stuff.
Nope. You don't got to do nothing.
You'll smell it in a second. It's unloaded.
It's unloading itself.
We'll be back with further instructions for you.
This is gonna cost the company. I'm charging extra rate and a half for this.
Perfect. Go right ahead.
Go for
Charge,
double.
charge triple.
All right.
I believe the Calliope has the bill.
Make sure it's signed Captain Valencia.
You guys head back into your truck and toss the body in there.
Let's not use the quarantine word. Some people get excited with that. You just locked it down. We locked the ship down.
Lockdown, quarantine, it's all the same to me.
But it's not all the same to everyone else.
2319!
Crowd running out. Like Leslie Nielsen's just calmly walking out.
As we're riding back in the truck, I'm gonna jab both
Call it the profit
script
band.
and Value.
Hard A.
With some needles to do some.
Something to keep in mind when you're healing. Again, it's your expertise, the green number, plus momentum. And if you guys are being healed a second time, he cannot heal you with this other than fresh wounds. So if you only took 3, but you had a 4th one from the previous battle, he's got to do a different thing for that. It's just the fresh wounds. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're both
Do you
healed
need
up.
us?
No.
Do you need us to remember those things? Or?
I mean,
He's doing it.
right now it's
figuring it
fine
out.
because they're all fresh wounds.
All right.
But you're both
That's why it's different markers.
your mental. Your
God.
I
wounds
need
are
to take a nap.
screwed, But
I
your
need a nap.
physical wounds are all good.
There's some stress out there too.
There is.
All right. And speaking of stress, as you guys leave that scene and move on, everyone recovers 1 stress.
Never mind. We're all recovered 1 stress.
Which means I'm fully recovered.
I mean, depending on who's driving.
Just the stress.
Oh, already
You
in,
still
the,
have
in the
one.
driver's seat. I beat you to it. Doc gave me my fancy helmet, and I'm wearing it, and I'm driving, and I'm feeling good. Singing a little jaunty tune to myself.
Semi-auto is the mode. Oh my god.
Yeah, so you can just do 1 reload.
There's also a la mode.
That's what your attacks are.
Where you guys driving? Where you heading?
Back to the Citadel.
All right.
Citadel, yeah.
You drive
We
back
don't, we
to
don't
the-
want to stop someplace, you know, with a
Get ice
bunny
cream? What?
We gotta get back.
We do. I agree.
All right, you head
Live a
back
few lives.
to the Citadel. The Citadel is the home of the Prophets, one of the oldest and tallest buildings in the city. It is a glorious, tall, almost obelisk-like shape on 4 ginormous curved struts. There are elevators that rise up to it that you guys take, listening to that classic muzak in the elevator while there's a dead body dripping on the floor over Zoma's shoulder. You make your way up many feet, several hundred feet up into the Citadel area proper. The Citadel is almost Spartanish in look, so big, oversized corridors, huge ceilings, polished floors, a few robots here. They're cleaning the floor. I guess they're falling behind Zoma.
bumping into
Some room accidentally hits a smudge and just smears it everywhere.
Not him again.
And you guys are back in the Citadel. There are a couple people of note. I can't remember how many you ran into before.
Is the good captain coming to the meeting with us?
I think Valencia and then the quartermaster Loons.
Yeah.
Okay.
He doesn't really have a choice. He goes when I go.
No, we need to go. Bring him this way.
All right.
And
We go this way.
I'll lead Zoma to. I'm assuming there's like a lab or like some sort of like medical
There is.
facility.
And these facilities are pretty darn good. They're way oversized for a profit organization from decades ago that had 4 to 5 times as many members. So yeah, there's a bed there, but it hasn't been used in forever.
Does Dr. Pastuza have an office or a practice?
Nope.
Or...
Mm-mm. But I would like to look at this body, do an autopsy if I can.
Okay, yeah. Dr.
And then I'll let
Pasuza,
everybody else do whatever else.
he starts doing an autopsy on it. What would the rest of you guys like to do?
How much time do we have right now?
For what?
As long as an autopsy takes.
Yeah. How long is that going to take?
I already left you guys.
How long is an autopsy last for?
It'll be a few
I
hours
think
at
it
least.
depends on the size of the body.
I will be in my room, and as Script is walking away, you see him pull something out of his pocket in a tool and just start fiddling and just walk away almost
All right.
absent-mindedly.
So you're going to be working on your tech cards?
Yes.
All right, so for that, you need a workshop, which would be on board a ship, or a permanent facility, such as the Citadel.
Now
So
that is where I'm headed to.
yeah,
then.
you go to a small little workshop. This is where the quartermaster is. He sees you coming as he's leaving and just says, "Just don't leave a mess," says Looms.
Never do.
And with bloody footprints.
about to say. There's definitely footprints.
He closes the door, and all you hear behind the door,
Wow.
Who would have thought Script would be the funny man?
He's the funny guy and the straight guy all wrapped in one. All right, so 2 people are working on their fortes. What are the other 4 of you doing?
I will
Cleaning
get
up.
cleaned up and
Yeah.
Clean, yeah.
Cleaning
yeah,
up.
I
Cleaning
will
up.
get cleaned up and meet you at Captain Valencia's quarters
With reports.
or off conference room, whatever.
All right.
The entire
Belu,
crew of
you had
Calliope
something?
is dead.
Is Velu
Thanks to us.
detect latent energy from the body or bodies? Specifically, I think what Velu is trying to do, if that is a possibility, not overseeing, like those viewing stands when the autopsy's underway or whatever, the surgery, just trying to get a feel without being directly involved with the autopsy.
All right, there is no viewing stand, so you are constantly getting in the way of Dr. Pastuza, poking around, having him go around you.
I appreciate your having me here.
Yep.
The rat folk doctor scurries onto your shoulder, looks
Yeah.
over here, scurries around your waist, looks over there.
Your whiskers are very long.
He tries to get deep into the spleen. The hole's
What
not big
kind of
enough, so he
tool is
wiggles
that?
inside.
You're making too much noise. I must meditate.
I have a pencil too.
At the office of Captain Valencia, your superior, we have Ash the pilot, Professor Fineglass the scientist, and Zoma the soldier are gathered mid-debriefing. Valencia, not making eye contact at all, looking at his data pad, says, "So on top of us having multiple medical personnel dead, several police officers injured, by all accounts a 10-year-old boy dead, we now have multiple crew members of a gas hauler down. I'm getting questions from my boss about all this, so I'm expecting you have some sort of leads, because I don't like getting questions from my boss."
Well, I'm happy to talk to him for you.
He raises an eye and looks at you.
Just dig deeper. Keep digging.
Remind me of a
Keep
guy.
on digging. Did
There's
you
a-
listen to
there's a
season
head
2, Tim?
Yes, we have
Fineglass, Do you think this is some sort of game?
Not at all. Just trying to keep the information succinct and
You don't
rapid.
seem to be understanding the gravity of the situation. This is not some class of yours. This is nothing theoretical. This is not some academic situation. There are politics at stake here.
And there are lives at stake as well.
Yeah, I'm just...
Agent Zoma and
Ash. Not script.
Agent Schermerhorn.
Yes, sir.
You're excused.
Thank you, sir.
You remember how uncomfortable this was the last time?
I think his old character should come in out of storage. Little BIS guy.
About facing and going out the door.
Ash follows about face and outdoor.
All right.
We'll hit the cafeteria.
We gotta follow up on these leads. I'm gonna take a look at the coordinates on the astromap.
You two are lying. You're listening to.
I got a cup right up
could
there.
really leave and go far away from here.
But Stuza, how long do two optics take?
Are we alone? Are we alone?
You are alone.
Captain, I mean no disrespect to you. but-
Fine Glass, you need to understand your place here. You are an agent with the Prophets. You are not someone in charge of a classroom. You are not someone in charge of a school. You report direct to me. And if that is going to be a problem for you, then this short experiment of you trying to be a prophet will come to a quick end.
There's no problem, I assure you.
You will respond when I ask you to respond. You are speaking well above your place. Are we clear on what I'm talking about?
Yes.
So, what I need from you is to be a better example than you're showing the rest of these prophets. You've been around longer. You've been around the Navy. You've been around the prophets. We are not an organization that is well liked outside of the public. There are many political folks around here that would love to close and shut our doors for good. So when I tell you I don't like questions from my boss, he does not like the questions that the politicians are going to be asking of him. If we can justify what's happening, if we can justify the leads, and if you and the agents can justify the good that you're doing, then I'll back you up 100% of the way at all times. But if you're unable to do so, if you're endangering people, and if you continue to disrespect me or the prophets, which is one and the same, then you and I will have very few words left after that. Do you understand that?
Sure, I do.
Then you are dismissed.
Did you want answers about our
You
mission?
are dismissed.
Very well. And he walks out.
All right, he is out. Adventure 2, not what I picked for how long that was going to take.
Where were we at on the pool?
I bump into Ash.
Nothing. I wasn't doing it.
Ash, can you give me a report to give to Valencia?
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it. I don't know otherwise how we're going to get our information to him, but
Email him.
maybe he has your ear.
I'll make it short and clear.
Very well.
You both notice Zoma is not there. He did not go to the cafeteria. He did go to see the quartermaster, if there is one available.
Looms. You just
Yes. You're able to find him. He is at a cafeteria enjoying some food.
Sweet.
Hey,
Ah,
what's up?
hello, comrade. I need you to take a look at something.
You reach as far down into his pants. Slim lace.
Yes.
What do you make of this?
Looks well used. Seems decent enough. Not standard issue, but you prophets gotta come up with whatever you need, and it's more than I can come up with for you.
It's not going to backfire on me or anything.
Oh, they're not known for their quality at times, but I think as a backup weapon, something hidden somewhere in a hidden holster, it could work pretty well.
Very good, very good.
Inside the autopsy chamber, Dr. P, MD,
PP, Dr. PP.
Dr. P is how you show up in my notes, by the way. Dr. P, PFG, script, Zoma.
with the assistance of a mystic in the group, constantly getting in the way, I need you, Velu, to make an insight roll assist with a single d20 to help the medicine roll that Dr. Bastuza is trying to do. Difficulty 2.
And Jeremy, just so you know, I am writing Ashton J. Shermurmerhorn every time your name comes up.
Success with 1 momentum.
I'm offering you 1 success.
All right, that's enough. You need a 2. The 2 of you are able to discern that there is no energy, but you're spending it all.
Yeah.
The 2 of you are able to determine there's no energy at all with this corpse of Captain Oark. You are also able to get just a bit of a trace of it as it starts to fade, and then it's gone for good. But what you're able to do with that little bit of timing is get a rough estimate of 2 hours, maybe 90 minutes as a minimum contact time for this energy to start to build up on an average person to start to become a medical problem for them.
2 hours. So it's a saturation base.
We're all scribbling notes. All I'm hearing is pencils.
And so contact with what?
Whatever the source of this energy is. Good question. No good answer.
This is interesting. While we're here, while I have you, Bailey.
Hey, Luke.
Hard A.
Take a seat. I want to talk to you. I want to delve into your
Does
your
the body
brain.
have to
brain?
be present?
He puts the Zima cooler down.
And I want to do some mental treatment.
All right. You're going to do some mental treatment. Works on characters with at least 1 mental box remaining and requires the advanced psychotherapy skill.
Yep.
Can be done once per day. Requires a challenging difficulty 2 to pull off. You can buy threats. You can spend a hero point.
I'll give you a threat for an extra.
I'll
day.
take a hero point. A threat,
I would
thank
take a
you.
hero point and set it to 1.
Oh, that's you're right.
Yeah.
So buy the die and spend the hero point? Is that what you're doing?
Nope, just the one. And yeah, that's a total of 4.
And how did you pay me a threat?
I used a hero
Point. Okay, gotcha. With 4 successes, that's a pass with 2 momentum. So you heal him 1, 2, 3 mental wounds, and that's the most you can do today.
Okay.
2 mental wounds. You still good? Tracking it?
With a quick little talk.
All right. Oh, I really needed that off my chest.
Our 50 minutes are up.
Oh, also, you could have used the treatment skill for that at that point. I don't know if that matters. But anyways, doesn't matter for now. We're taking that roll. Meanwhile, in the workshop, Script is taking the information gained, and he is going to try to craft a new tech device, a consumable item, one-time use to help out the group. What you're going to do is you're going to make a mechanics roll. Looking at the rules I just came up with. As Christopher is coughing to death. You burn all your tech points, of which you only had one, and you make a mechanics roll. Why can I not find it? Yeah, you make a mechanics roll. You just need a success, and for each bonus momentum beyond that, you gain an additional card.
I'm going to spend that wonderful hero point that I was given to just put a 1 on that
That's
die.
huge.
I'll also spend a threat and gain an extra die.
Go for it. Oh,
So that gives me 2 dice to roll.
maximum of 1 bonus per tech point that you're spending. So you can't get 5. You can at most get 2.
2. Okay.
If you were burning a bunch of tech points, you could get a ton more.
Right. Gotcha. Okay. Well, actually, the 1 is 2 successes.
Mhm.
So I think that's all I could actually
Yeah,
get.
so I'll take the threat back. You didn't
Yeah.
need to roll that.
All right.
Okay. Great.
Um,
So you get 2 cards that you get to keep, hand away, whatever you want to do. You're keeping both of them.
Well, no, I'm going to give them.
Okay. And then replenish your craftable of 3 and for another time when you get more tech points.
Can I discard anything? when
You
I'm-
may not.
It's not a card game.
You may not at this time. All right. The group at some point then, I'm assuming, is gathering together, maybe at your quarters, your bunks.
Yep.
All right.
Cafeteria.
Cafeteria.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You
dinner time's not a bad idea. Killing a lot of
Yeah,
people
what,
makes
time,
me
what time of day is it?
It was morning. It was afternoon. It was probably 3
This is
o'clock.
Like a 24-hour cycle.
Yes.
Everyone
Every
have some of
planet.
this green milk.
24 hours, 365 days a year. There's months there's Tuesdays. Yes.
It's Thursday.
So, I want to just kind of point out that I feel like we should be a bit more shaken by the amount of people that have just died recently. I know it's an everyday thing for us, but still, it sits on you for a while. So, stakes for everyone, huh? Yeah? No? No? Okay.
Ish.
Professor, I got that report that you requested. You just need to proof it for me, and then we can send it off to the captain as well.
He still has you doing reports? I thought you graduated.
I was writing it anyway. I mean, it's fine.
Okay, teacher's
Could
pet.
be a part of it.
What? Ash, with what you just said, what is that coming from the captain? What do you mean? I mean, we're leaving a horrible mess of shit behind us, but what do you mean? What did the captain have to say about it?
He had very little to say to me. Both Zoma and I were dismissed as soon as we walked in, basically. But
Yes, we call it getting about-faced.
When you've known Valencia as long as I have, you know he's not one to mince words.
Yeah, he's an asshole.
He's he has his commanders that ask him questions, and so he asks us questions, and it's just the way the prophets work.
What questions did he ask you?
Basically, none.
Like a computer to be so direct.
But I know he's going to want to know what we found out from our outings today. So, Ash here, he brought up a report. I will proofread it tonight. Thank you.
yeah. I think when we get a chance, we should also probably follow up on the investigation and see if we need to go look at the Rindle quadrants where we found out where that the Calliope ship came from.
We'll follow up for sure. Once we get the okay from Valencia.
Groovy.
Doctor, what did your autopsy reveal?
Well, here's a full report. But it comes down to that there was no energy left in the body, but I did find out in the outer cortex of the brain that it takes a little bit of time before before these people become the monsters that we saw them as.
Do you think that explains the headaches then?
Probably that's what's leading up to the change of the fire in the eyes and the claws.
How much time before one is affected?
It's hard to guesstimate. Around 2 hours, maybe less.
Does that have to be consecutive?
No clue.
So whatever killed these people killed them in less than 2 hours?
Change them.
Turn them into what they were.
Well, I know we killed them. I know that. But
Well, you
2
they were
seconds!
already dead, in my opinion. Okay, you started hitting me with claws and glowing eyes. Okay.
You people killed them.
You people.
What do you mean, you people? Rat man. Okay.
So what do we do in the meantime?
So, not to be insensitive, but
I hate all humans.
You humans
It's
suck.
the smell. I cannot get the stink of it.
Smells like hydromethane.
who does the Calliope belong to?
The prophets.
Ash knows the answer to that.
Yes.
Property of
Ash knows the answer to that. The answer to that may surprise you. Once I look it up here and I totally find that the answer is...
The Calliope belongs to
Deckard gas.
Deckard Gas.
They should then be notified that their ship is being charged for docking. Triple pay. Also, I have things for some of you. I like to call this the penetrator.
What does it look like?
Um,
Please
you
don't
know
say.
what it looks
Please,
like.
please don't say it just came off of you.
Let's just say it's not a slim waist.
take this.
It is ribbed for my pleasure.
It looks like it would probably fit into the magazine of a submachine gun or something of that nature. That would potentially complement
All right.
that sort of weapon. And here, have a cookie.
Dr.
doctor?
Pastuza.
Giving this something to Dr. Pastuza.
And it is definitely not a cookie, although it is small, metallic, and it looks like it could probably attach to vocal cords or something to enhance.
All right. So these are
to
our
enhance
tech
somebody.
cards. You can have at most 2 per character, and generally they require a minor action to use, and it doesn't matter where they're at. So if they're in your backpack or something, I don't want to waste 2 actions to pull out and use. I'm using it. They're talismans from Pathfinder hanging off your armor.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes, thank you.
Yes. I have nothing for the rest of you.
Oh, dang it.
But disdain.
So we know it. What was the name of the company?
Deckard.
Deckard Gas.
Good
So,
Blade Runner reference.
Just kind of continuing that conversation. Do we know the location of this company? Is in frontier space?
You mean like their headquarters?
Well, yes. If we are getting to bottom of things, this could be a good place to start.
Would this be a company that has any relevance that we would have heard of?
Ash probably already did some research on it, and it's a small company that has 5 ships. This is their mid-range ship that they have, and they
Prized possession.
and they
Captained by the owner's son.
They do mining, either gas
anymore.
mining or physical drilling off of the ship, and they tend to avoid Alliance space as there's a lot of regulatory crap they got to deal with. So they go out into the
Ozark Deckard.
and so they go out into the frontier area.
Got it.
I doubt the company would know anything, as they seem to, in the logs, indicate the boy was found at a mining area in space.
I agree. Doesn't seem the company would know anything.
We do need to get out there, though, right? To see if we can find where this little guy came from.
Especially since he was adrift
If I
in
were to
space all by
surmise,
himself. How does that do that?
he might have been dropped by another vessel
There it is.
passing through that location. Might be a matter of retracing steps. It would be my guess.
You think Calliope picked them up by mistake?
On purpose, according to the logs that you all had shown me.
They picked him up to rescue him.
So however he survived, most likely was because of this, I'll say, infectious element. Survived, was picked up, brought here, we saw the aftermath, and dealt with it.
If the ship has left the area, it would not be traceable for us to return. Would not necessarily make sense.
But if I may suggest a course of action, that is an area frequented by miners. Gas miners tend to stick together. We may find other ships that would know of another unexpected ship that had dropped through.
Very good point you make there.
Or perhaps there's a whole list of people with more headaches. If it happened on this ship with this child, it may not be, local to him. It could be other ships that are doing it as well. Maybe it's the gas. Or maybe it's something else entirely.
I thought about that, and it's been 3 hours, 42 minutes since. And we have not experienced any of the symptoms so far.
But we've not been in constant contact since.
It's one observation that I've made so far.
Well, we've got our research cut out for us, for sure.
Pilsner's gonna duck out and head back to his lab.
Okay, what are you doing there?
I want to look on.
And it's your lab all of a
Oh,
sudden?
no, not my lab. The medical lab.
He slips a
Valencia
name
here.
card into the file.
That's what I made him. Just
That's the tech card. Nameplate.
Yes. I want to look, Pilsner rather wants to look like, assuming there's like some, like an online medical records, or look for anybody in the particular space where the boy was found to see if there's any records of anybody that's having these headaches or any similar
Okay.
attacks along the lines of what we've seen.
All right. With just a little bit of effort, you quickly realize that there is no information coming out of that part of space whatsoever. They're quite cut off from most of society.
And that's normal? Or
Yeah.
Okay.
Totally normal. And you would not get that even for plenty of systems in the Alliance space, but you would get it from major populated areas. This is two out in the backwoods.
Dr. Fineglass, Professor Fineglass, takes his leave to go read the report that Ash wrote, add any missing information that we've been discussing here at the table.
I would have given you the autopsy report.
Thank you. And then forwards that on to Captain Valencia.
All right. Would you like to try to embellish a bit to make it appeal to his senses and make a risky difficulty 2 persuasion roll, or do you just want to let it lay as it is?
No, it's the facts.
All right.
All evidence by Professor.
Professor.
The professor has no hesitation about recounting the events as they happened and what happened. Like, he feels completely justified in the events that have happened so far.
All right.
So
All right, you hit send and then boop. Professor Fineglass, please report to Just kidding. Just kidding.
Here we go.
Still kind of fuzzy on whether or not the boop happened before.
Script will craft an email to Deckard Gas, basically telling them that unfortunately, all crew of the
Calliope.
Calliope lost due to unforeseeable
firearm
and unstoppable
discharges.
circumstances, and that it is docked at the Searcoast docks, and that
Here's the fee schedule.
yeah,
All right, you send out that email.
and that I'll send it out.
You guys can rest for a bit, and what are you going to tackle maybe the next day? What's your plan?
If it's next day,
Or we can fast forward through time if you have no plan. That's also an
if
option.
it's next day, Fineglass wants to just get the thumbs up from Captain Valencia that we follow up on these leads that we have, and that we actually return to the point where the boy was picked up in frontier space.
All right. Captain Valencia is not available this day. He is out of the office doing other things.
All right.
Office hours are Monday through Wednesday.
Captain
Noon
Fineglass
to-
leaves a voicemail that we're going out from the frontier space.
How are we getting there, though?
We'll take a Navy ship,
Yeah,
catch a ride with the
apparently
Navy.
we have access to Navy ships in the area, or we could.
Send another email to Deckard Gas.
We could commandeer
I think that was
the
all
Calliope.
that ship's going to add some pretty severe medical, electrical damage. That we would
It's
have
also
to
kind of.
I
bug.
can.
prepare.
Would
I
a
can-
Navy ship go into frontier space?
Yeah, they certainly can. It's not.
Excuse me. I'm sorry. I can fix that.
Yes, the Navy ship certainly will. It's
We're-
unclaimed space.
I feel like we're in enough.
I think if Ash can
Deep
fly
water.
a nicer ship and we have ability to take nicer
Script,
ship,
how long
maybe
would it take you to
faster
fix
ship.
the ship?
I could probably fix it on the way.
This is not a good idea.
What about the power situation? We saw that the power was mighty low.
I could look at that.
That's his buffering sound.
But listen,
That's him giving the ship a dose of power.
We are docked. We could recharge the ship.
so we go to Lower West Shipyard, get in clunking ship that we need to fix on way to transport to place that we don't know we can get to, or we go downstairs, get nicer ship that he can already fly with passport, ready to go.
We will be just passengers.
we would be riders with the Navy, not the.
So
not
he doesn't even
dri-
get to drive the ship.
Yeah, whoa, that's not what I signed up for. If there's a spaceship, I'm gonna fly it.
So do you want to take the guess?
There are advantages, if I may point them out. Traveling with the Navy ship does provide us with certain protections. Armed Navy vessel.
Yeah.
However, my research of the belters in this case, I love that word, they would be more adept with their own kind and less fearful and responsive if we were to travel in a ship that they were familiar with.
It is
But
true.
even if-
Also,
and
we
here-
could go where we want to go.
And here's a couple options that can be available to you. Most likely, you will. It'll take a little bit longer because you have to wait for them to be available. Ash would not fly a Navy ship.
Oh, butterscotch.
They would. It would probably be a frigate, and attached to that would be a shuttle that you guys could then use for more smaller things. And then that shuttle, you guys could go with a really nice Inner Alliance Navy shuttle, or you could go with a more crappy incognito Prophet shuttle. You guys have some junkier ones to blend in, so you do have a couple options. Or do what
blend
So
do what Script is saying.
Become pirates.
let me ask you this, as a prophet, commandeering a ship like in under these circumstances.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how in the gray area are we on that as far as like
Not particularly. Commandeering this is an emergency. We got to have it now.
Yeah.
And so my recommendation would just be the
I don't know that it's not the
WWCVD. What would Captain Valencia do?
Yeah, I don't think he would pirate a ship.
Yeah, he would probably want us to take the
Of course, whatever option we take, he's gonna bust my balls for the opposite. So
Script.
All three of them.
Script, we know you can fix ship. We know you are capable. However, to be more inconspicuous, we should take a shuttle that we can control and operate with no problems. That Ash can fly with no issues, and we can be undercover if necessary.
That is fine. I was just trying to save Deckard Gas some money.
They have the location of ship. They'll come get it.
Yes.
You did put location of ship,
Is
yes?
your surname Deckard?
No.
No, that was Captain we just killed.
So what's settled then? We take a ride with the Navy with one of the old Prophet shuttles. Go from there once we get to frontier space.
All right. Is
And
that
like-
agreed?
After a nap.
Like you said, it's a
Yeah,
Oh,
you
it's
got.
next day.
long-range
Yeah.
frigate, short-range shuttle situation.
So it is next day.
It is the next day.
How do the mental wounds?
That's not even going to matter because you guys have to wait a couple more days for them to be ready to go, and then you have 6 days of travel to get to where in fold space. So everything, as long as it's not critical wounds and probably serious wounds, you're fine.
How about
And
stress?
stress totally gone, and mental wounds totally cleaned up. You're all good. So you guys are welcomed aboard. Hey, welcome aboard! Come on, we're ready to take you. And the guy's excited to. I've never flown with prophets before. No, I'm the pilot, keeping Ash out of the bridge. Thanks a lot. You can sit here in the co-pilot seat.
Yeah, co-pilot. That's what I wanted.
And
You're the deadhead.
they have a detachable cargo section off the back of this frigate. It's a crew of maybe 25 people, and they let you know. So yeah, we're gonna come into these coordinates that you've given us. Still not quite sure what's going on there, but that's not our responsibility. We're gonna drop you off there. You've got the shuttle. We'll hang out for a couple hours, get the okay from you, but then we've got to go to another destination, and we'll be back in 10 days.
Very well. We appreciate the ride.
The detachable cargo area normally has supplies or a crew.
It's not too late.
or a marine attachment, and instead it's gone. And then there's this old shuttle that's attached to it. It has transponder that Ash can set to be something else. You can fake it, spoof some other company or something along those lines.
Barge.
And you guys take off in this Alliance frigate. You leave the beautiful planet of Haven behind, and the blue shimmering waters and the glass buildings fade away. You get out of the atmosphere. The ship has to get to a particular distance called the fold line, which is a certain gravitational distance away from the planet, and then fold. The ship folds. Everything gets weird and wonky for a bit. Everyone's bolted into their seats, strapped down, and you enter fold space. It is another reality of space where everything gets incredibly dark and you cannot see any stars of any kind, and it is black. You are not in normal space. You're in another dimension, cutting distances quite a bit. It takes anywhere from 5 to 7 days to go a huge distance, and if it's an extreme distance, you might have to wait several hours to recharge the drive to fold again. In this case, you just have about 6 days of travel as you're going. You guys are working out, stripping weapons. Probably Zoma's doing that. Whatever you want to do, trying to stay sane as you go through fold space. Normally, this is where I would have Ash make a space roll, and but that's not the case. You're not the pilot.
No, I can rate that. Though. That's all right.
And as you guys go through, anything interesting you're doing during this time? Otherwise, we'll go through.
Yeah, Zoma's just tackle burying his weapons and just taking them apart. trying to get to know his Prophet crewmates a little bit better.
Professor Fineglass he's kind of been holing up in his quarters a little bit more than normal while we're in fold space.
All right. And you guys, after several days, are warned that you're coming out of.
Oh, I'm sorry. I am doing something. Our shuttle. I am going up and down it, over it, around it, doing anything I can to improve every single last drop and piece of that shuttle.
Make a mechanics roll, difficulty 2, please.
0 success.
Okay. No
It looks
success.
great.
We have no supplies with us to fix it.
You come out of fold space. You are given an alert by the pilot, the real pilot.
I just repeat everything he says right after it.
Stand by, coming out of fold
Stand
space.
by, coming out
Please
of
strap
fold
down.
Flight.
Please.
Ash is a silly head.
He let you do the food and drink
Hey.
announcements during the flight. The in-flight announcement.
You guys come out of fold space, and
You
what
get some gold wings.
And for those of you on the bridge can see a bright light in the pitch black darkness, and then it becomes bright and flash over you, and now you see stars all over the place. Some of you who haven't flown as much as others get a little queasy. Script, you're fine.
Well, Velu throws right.
Out of all 4 of his eyes.
Do additional orifices open up for this?
Yeah.
He's out of his 0G suit. Please make this stop.
Just tumbling around his face.
It's his propulsion system.
How I navigate. No, I forget I'm wearing the suit.
Suddenly the abyss, ending of the abyss.
There you go.
All right. You come out of fold space, and Zoma, you go around and make sure everyone's geared up, ready to go. You give some reassuring words to Velu. However, when you open the quarters door that is being used by Professor Fineglass, you see him in a common but completely bizarre physical predicament. He looks way smaller and thinner than he used to, and there's probably some additional visual impact.
He looks almost petrified. In addition to being kind of shrunken, frail. It appears frail, shrunken, but like you touch him and it's like he's got a patina layer all over his body. And he's quite hard, for lack of better words.
And this is what happens with his race, the Archoi, from time to time, which can last a few hours to a few days. However, you've run into this several times. He's actually done some training with you, and you do have a special little harness. If you'd like, you can bring him along. Otherwise, you can leave him here. It is certainly your choice.
Like everybody else, just get on my back, I guess.
I carry the show again.
Is Fineglass completely catatonic and unresponsive?
Yes.
Oh.
He's C-3PO in The Empire Strikes Back.
I think I like him better this way.
Trust me, he's just as annoying.
And you guys are at the destination. The pilot turns to you, Ash, and says, "Hey, you are at the destination.
Hey.
This is the exact coordinates, but there's nothing here." And he brings up a map, and you can see a wide ring of asteroids that you're in the middle of. So there's massive distances between them, but there's still hundreds and hundreds within just a couple hours and millions within a couple days. And he runs a little sensor sweep and says, "All right, so I've got absolutely nothing here. This is empty space, and I've got 2 unusual objects here within this, probably a couple hours travel for you in that shuttle. Over here, closest to the star, still pretty far from it though, is a solar array, some sort of. He checks his information. It says Shinin Array, dealing with energy gathering, some sort of commercial enterprise. That's all it says on the database entry. And then I've got a trade facility and worker compound hanging off one of the asteroids. It's called Arc Rise. That's all the information I got off of that.
What is Arc Rise again?
It's a trade facility and worker compound. So one of those, the opposite of a safe union job type operation going on over there.
Well, I really appreciate the lift, buddy. Hey, next time, just try wiggling the dingle thing a bit. You'll find out it's a bit smoother for you in your re-entry.
He looks at your character sheet and your low persuasion skill and just rolls his eyes a little bit. You guys climb aboard your shuttle.
We'll see you in 10 days.
We'll be back here in 10 days on the dot.
See you then.
Good hunting. You guys climb aboard your shuttle. Is there slap fight over who's driving again?
No.
With this?
Nope.
All right, Ash is...
Obviously, I'm driving.
No, Ash is taking control. Ash, you get in front of this clunky shuttle with old archaic controls that responds not so well because someone didn't maintain it during the trip over.
She's handling great.
F5 him real fast.
Oh,
Couldn't be
right.
better.
Looks like I might need to do
Handles
a
like a
extra.
dream.
Well, let's do it.
All right, you reach up, you pull a handle down, and the shuttle clunks out and detaches and falls free of the frigate. It's going to remain there for a couple hours just for your safety's sake, as you then fire up the engines slowly, get a feel for the ship, and you look to the rest of the group to decide where you're headed or what you want to do.
There were just dead space where we're here now, but there's these two spaces we could go to. There's the solar array and the Arc Rise, which seems to be a trade facility and worker compound. Where am I headed, Professor?
He is catatonic.
Right.
Would anybody be at the array? You should find some people first, right? To see if anybody has had these symptoms or this affliction we've run into.
Well, the Arc Rise area is for workers and traders. That would make sense to go there, in my opinion.
To the Arc Rise. Punches it in.
All right, you head off towards the Arc Rise, a dilapidated former facility used most likely for mining. As you get closer, you see no, it is a poor man's space dock and a really poor man's shipyard. You see some crappy old ships that are being repaired or built that look just disastrous, and they probably take years and years of very slowly getting it done. As you approach, there's a small worker little flying maintenance ships that hold one or two people that are going around and trying to do repairs, and you guys fly in towards the dock of this trade facility to see what's going on with this boy and this energy, and we will stop there for tonight. Thank you everyone for joining us here on Adventure 2. The adventure has continued, more bloodshed. I've got some interesting questions for our players here in our after show. If you want to check out the after show and some bonus episodes and help support the show, please, you're more than welcome to support us on patreon.com/ingloriousbards. A few bucks certainly helps. And come join us on our Discord channel and talk with other fans about this episode and anything else you want. Check that out and more at ingloriousbards.com, and we will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
See ya.